The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
The Tigers have made this walk before, many times, but somehow it feels different this time. Mizzou walks into their future in the SEC.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased and we are proud to welcome you to the family of the Southeastern Conference.
Sometimes you know you are making history. Other times you don't realize until it's over. And then there are times when you don't have a choice, because destiny is right in front of your eyes. For over 120 years, Missouri has enjoyed a rich football tradition filled with Hall of Fame coaches, great players, unbelievable wins, and spectacular moments.
He'll run, little hesitation. Touchdown, Missouri!
Now Missouri is a member of the SEC. It's time for new beginnings, new challenges, and the chance to make history. In Columbia, you never forget the past. You just use it to shape the future. For Mizzou, the future starts now. Welcome to Columbia, where the band is playing an entirely different tune. Some much-needed rain in the area, but there's also a buzz in the air as the Tigers move to the SEC, and they begin their football season today against the Lions of Southeastern Louisiana. Well, hi again, everyone. I'm Dave Armstrong, along with former Mizzou quarterback Corby Jones. And Corby, boy, you can just feel the excitement here at Mizzou. The whole new chapter as the Tigers move into the SEC. What is this doing for this program?
Things are off the chart, Dave. I can't. It's absolutely indescribable. With $200 million development or renovation being done to the stadium, being approved, donations being higher than ever, not to mention these players being so excited to play in the best conference of college football.
Well, let's talk about some of these players, and let's start with the quarterback, James Franklin. He's back for his junior campaign.
And James was tremendous last year, accounting for almost 300 yards passing, 21 touchdowns, 981 yards rushing, 63% of his passes completed, only threw 11 picks, 15 TDs. This kid is a perfect blend between Blaine Gabbert, Chase Daniel, and Brad Smith. He's a great athlete, and I expect great things out of him.
And the good news is he's 100% healthy after a torn labrum in the spring. The news is not so good, though, for Henry Josie, a starting tailback from last year. He will miss this entire season with that knee injury that he hurt in the Texas game a year ago. But that gives room for Kendall Lawrence, who came on strong in the last 4 games last year.
And let's not forget, Kendall Lawrence was the starting tailback last year prior to getting injured. He's a great football player. He's got some of the moves that Josie has. You can see him. He's got breakaway speed. He had 566 yards and 5 touchdowns last year, so I expect this guy to do anything Josie would have done.
Well, you want to talk about the future? How about this? The future is so bright, the #1 recruit in the land is coming here. Dorial Green Beckham is playing for the Tigers, and they'll tee it up next on Fox Sports.
I'm here. Yeah, no, it was me. I felt it. When I put my jacket on, I felt it.
Don't worry about it.
But then I know you didn't see it. I didn't see it.
We'll throw some tape on in case later on. Where do you want me to be?
Right there.
Honestly, I caught it on my thing. I felt it.
Let me know who's kicking off and all that. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium and Faurot Field as the Tigers get set to kick things off. The third member of our broadcast team down on the field with us is Todd Donahoe. Todd?
Dave, you've already talked about the enthusiasm of moving to the SEC for the Missouri Tigers. And so their first game of the season comes against a team from Louisiana, but it's not LSU. It's SLU, Southeastern Louisiana. The most experienced Tiger is Elvis Fisher, offensive tackle. He's a medical redshirt. He comes back for another season, and he puts this whole SEC thing into perspective.
We're going to a different conference. We know that. We have to embrace it because we can't run from it. You know, there's things everywhere remind us that we're moving to the SEC, and we know it. But the main thing is just to, come in every day, just the mindset of just to get better and just to work hard. And that's what we do. And we know that we're moving conferences, but we still have one goal, and that's just to, win the first game.
Lot of new faces on that Missouri offensive line. Justin Britt, the only returning starter at right tackle. Of course, Elvis Fisher did not play last year because he was injured. And then you've got Evan Boehm, a true freshman at left guard, a walk-on Max Copeland at right guard, and Mitch Morris at center. By the way, now, the field conditions. It's going to rain here, quite possibly. It's rained on and off all day. But take a look. Brand new turf. First game ever played on this field. It's in incredible condition. But I've got my poncho just in case it starts raining.
All right, sounds good. You know what? We could use the rain, and it's okay as long as we keep the lightning and thunder away. The head coach of the Lions of Southeastern Louisiana in his very first year, Ron Roberts. What a way for him to debut, against the very strong Missouri Tigers of the SEC. Of course, Gary Pinkel in his 12th year guiding these Tigers.
Coach Roberts was 47-16 in 5 years at Delta State, but this isn't Delta State.
No, it's not. Kicking off for the Lions is Ryan Adams. They've moved the kickoff to the 35, and into the end zone it goes to TJ Moe. He'll down it there, and the new rule in college football this year, instead of bringing it out to the 20, they bring it out to the 25-yard line. Once again, the quarterback for the Missouri Tigers is James Franklin, the man they call the Tank. Good to see him back, and he says he's 100%.
And I believe he is. I think we talked to the coaches earlier this week, and they expect him to be about 85% at the beginning of August. And they said mid-August he was slinging the ball like nothing had ever happened.
And one thing he is looking forward to, and I never heard a guy look forward to it, but he's looking forward to that first hit.
As a QB or as a ball carrier, you always look forward to the first hit. That's when the jitters are gone.
So here comes Franklin and the offense starting at their own 25-yard line. Single back is Lawrence from the shotgun. And the give on the end around is to Moe, and Moe has some room to run up the sideline, gets it up to the 31, a gain of 6. So let's look at that starting offensive line. And again, as Todd pointed out, so many new faces there with Evan Boehm, the first offensive freshman to ever start for Gary Pinkel. And when you look at the backs and receivers, so many weapons. James Franklin has a ton of guys to throw it to. Not in the starting lineup, but a guy we expect to see quite often today is DGB, of course, Dorial Green Beckham. Second and short. Franklin will keep it himself. He's got a seam. There he goes across midfield.
At 6'2", 228 pounds, this guy's a load. You don't want to come up and hit him.
Maurice Sutton finally made the stop, but a huge gain for Franklin. 29-yard run.
That hole's big enough to drive a trailer through.
And all the way down to the 40-yard line of the Lions. Empty backfield. 3 receivers to the high side, 2 to the low. And the first throw for Franklin is on target, but dropped. Boy, it was right on target, but dropped on the outside by Lawrence.
They split out Kendall Lawrence that time, thinking that they're going to get a matchup issue with bringing a linebacker out that far. In fact, it turned into a zone blitz when they brought the inside cover man. So Lawrence is wide open. Got to bring that in, but it's awful early.
Pass was right there. Lawrence, I think, trying to keep his feet in bounds. Lost concentration on the ball, so it's 2nd and 10. Franklin to toss it again. And this time he gets it to Lucas. Helmet comes off as Lucas takes it down to the 34.
It's a very popular play in college football right now, and has been for the past about 3 to 5 years. That inside slip screen, everybody's running it.
Let's look at the Lions defensively. They play a 3-3-5. We'll show 4 guys as linebackers, but they really play a 3-3-5 defense, and their best defender is Robert Alford. So it's 3rd down, 3rd and 4 to go. They need to get just inside the 30 for the first down. Franklin, lots of time in the pocket, and this time the pass is way over the head of Bud Sasser. So what do you do here? Go for it on 4th down?
I wouldn't. Actually, with the kicking woes that we've heard about in the preseason, I think they probably will here, though.
They did settle on Andrew Baggett just a couple of days ago. As far as the field goals and extra points are concerned, we'll still see a lot of Trey Barrow, though, on both kickoffs and punting. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 4. Last year, the Tigers were 59% on 4th down. Franklin. That's a catch, and that's enough for the first down. That goes to Eric Waters.
Great second effort there by Waters. He gets hit early. If he gets brought down there, he may be short of it, but he fights through it and makes a great play. That first spin is what saved him right there.
So a good play by Eric Waters, the junior out of Mansfield, Texas. And a fresh set of downs for the Tigers. This time the give is to Lawrence. He's trying to turn the corner, and he cannot. Good play by Alford on the outside. Well, how about the keys to the games, Corby? What do you think the Tigers need to accomplish here tonight?
The first thing they need to do is they've got to start fast. You never let a team that you're better than hang in there too long, gain too much confidence. Second thing, they got to control the line of scrimmage. With that 3-3-5 defense, they're going to be a smaller team, so you can control the line of scrimmage by running the football. Third, you need to control emotions. These guys you've got a lot of young players out there, and they tend to get a little emotional.
Franklin again with time, and down the sideline it goes. The catch is made. Good catch, too, by Sasser. And he's inside the 10 where it'll be 1st and goal.
If James had kept that ball a little bit more inside and not gone too far to the sideline with it, it might have been touchdown. I mean, you can run into that problem as a quarterback every once in a while. You try to throw the ball out more than you throw the ball up.
I've already seen 2 or 3 receivers for the Tigers get behind that secondary. That spells disaster for the Lions if that trend continues. 1st and goal from the 9. And the handoff on the end around to Lawrence, and he muscles his way down to the 6, a gain of 3. Tigers, who won their last 4 games last season, close out an 8-5 campaign and a victory in the Independence Bowl.
Yeah, they looked solid finishing up that season last year.
It looked shaky there for a while when it was 4-5, and you thought, uh-oh, but then
a little frightening.
Impressive coming down the stretch in the Big 12 and then on to the Independence Bowl. Lawrence, nice little stutter step, and he'll take it down to the 2.
That's what I was saying in the opener. When you've got a guy like Lawrence back there, it's very similar to having someone like Josie. They're both short, shifty back, low center of gravity. They're going to make the first person miss almost every time.
Boy, when you have Franklin who can score from here, and you have all the weapons, including now Dorial Green Beckham, who has moved into that Y slot. Why not his first catch be a touchdown? High snap, and the toss goes to Moe, and he's got it for the touchdown. What a catch by TJ Moe. Well, Corby, you said to start fast. They have.
Yes, they have. Other than the drop from Lawrence, I didn't see a whole lot of mistakes right there.
Boy, an impressive drive, 75-yard drive. And now for the point after Baggett. Redshirt freshman out of Lee's Summit. And the extra point is good. So just like that, in just under 4 minutes of play, the Tigers march right down the field, and TJ Moe scores his 11th touchdown as a Tiger, and a nice catch in the back of the end zone.
You know TJ Moe is going to make that grab. Granted, it's a layout, but for a guy like that, it's almost routine. He reminds you a little bit of a Wes Welker type player.
Well, what a great start for both Franklin and Moe. It's got to feel good for Franklin to kind of get some of the rust off for all these players, really, in that first game of the year.
Oh, definitely. It's great to see the whole offense come out and do something like that. It's what you want to do in an opening game, regardless of who your opponent is. You want to come out and assert your will and do what you want to do and let them know that you're going to be there all day trying to do it.
Well, Southeastern Louisiana had to battle through Hurricane Isaac to get here. Good to have them here. Ron Roberts, their head coach, and with more on the Lions, here's Todd Donahoe.
Well, Dave, I talked to Ron Roberts before the game, and he says there's no way you can be prepared to be a coach on a week of a hurricane. He's never been anything like it he's ever seen. They dismissed school and classes on Tuesday. There was no school on Wednesday. On Thursday, some of the players came back. On Friday, they all came back to finally come up here to Columbia. But the eye of that hurricane went right over Hammond, Louisiana, which is where southeastern Louisiana is. And they had record rainfalls. Some of the kids' homes were destroyed and flooded. Some of the players actually slept in cots at the gymnasium because the dormitories were closed. Ron Roberts had some interesting comments to say, though. He says, we haven't even been able to focus on Missouri this week. This game today is a distraction for us. It's to do something fun, to play football, to escape what we've all been through this week.
Todd, he also said that when you take Coaching 101, they don't include hurricane preparation in the manual.
Absolutely.
So just good to have them here. Good, they're safe. And, they all said, I talked to several of the players and some of the people on their staff, and they said, it was bad, but it could have been a lot worse.
And they'd seen a lot worse.
Yeah. Just 7 years ago, they, of course, had Katrina.
Correct.
In fact, on the anniversary of Katrina, that's when Hurricane Isaac came ashore. So back deep now for the Lions, awaiting the kick of Trey Barrow, is Jarrett Johnson. He's standing on the goal line. With this new rule, Corby, I guess you're going to tell your kicker, just go ahead and put it in that end zone. You're 5 yards closer off the kick, and then just make them start at the 25.
I think that's your best option.
And that's interesting, too. You catch it a couple of yards deep. Are you better off downing the ball? And I think he would have been. Instead, he doesn't even get to the 20.
Clearly. I think coaches are telling their players now that if they can catch it 1 or 2 yards deep, if they got a playmaker back there, then go ahead and take your chances with it. Otherwise, just down it and start the offensive series.
Quite a quarterback battle for the Lions between Nathan Stanley and last year's starter Brian Young. Stanley won the battle because the coaching staff said just simply he takes care of the ball. Stanley, an Ole Miss transfer. He was with the team last year, played sparingly. He's getting the start in game 1.
I'm interested to see whether or not we're going to see both guys in the first couple series and see how they rotate this. This is the hot hand theory.
And not much room to run at all that time as McCray comes on the end around and in fact is stopped for a loss. Good hit there by Michael Sam. Well, there was nowhere to go. E.J. Gaines, who the coaches told us that he just never has a bad day. And E.J. Gaines came up from his corner position. So a loss of a couple. It's 2nd and 12. And it's picked off. Intercepted and run back for the touchdown by Xavier Gooden.
So much for taking care of the football.
Adding to the fast start. Now there is a flag on the play. Ken Williamson is our referee.
Holding, offense number 62. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
So Gooden, who has started 27 straight games, had 2 picks last year, and he starts off this campaign very well.
When we talked to the coaches, Coach Steckel called Xavier Gooden his silent assassin. He's kind of like one of those guys that always makes a play, doesn't talk a whole lot, but when he does, everybody listens.
Richardson was the guy in the backfield putting the pressure on Stanley, and that allowed Gooden to step up in that seam and make the pick. So now for the point after. The holder, by the way, is T.J. Moe this year. He's never done that before. He's Mr. Everything, isn't he?
Yeah, when you got a guy like that, put him on the field anywhere.
He returns kicks, he scores touchdowns, he's the holder. T.J. Moe. He's the kind of guy, if he played baseball, he'd play all 9 positions.
Utility man.
Good to have a versatile guy like that. You know, I was telling Chad Muller, the sports information director from Missouri last night, that I got to be friends with Steve Largent, a Hall of Fame wide receiver in the Seattle Seahawks, and he was the holder for the Seahawks, and he said that was the most terrifying thing that he ever did in the NFL was being the holder. He said, I was fine going across the middle, catching passes. It was holding that was the most difficult. I said, how many did you muff? He said, oh, I didn't muff any, but it was always scary. You know, speaking of great receivers, Jeremy Macklin is back here in Columbia, and he's with Todd Donahoe.
Yeah, look who just showed up for a college football game, Jeremy Macklin. Jeremy, you've done something very exciting recently. You have endowed a scholarship here at the University of Missouri.
Yes, sir. You know, just giving back to the great school that helped me become the person I am today. So, you know, I couldn't ask for anything more. 2-time
All-American. What was your fondest memory here at Mizzou?
You know, I would say beating Kansas down at Arrowhead. I think that's a game I probably, remember for the rest of my life. And you know, it put us the number one team in the country. So,
I know everybody is wondering about the SEC, Missouri and the SEC. Now, you've played against SEC guys in the NFL. How do you think the Tigers are going to do in the SEC?
Well, you know, when people start talking about that, I go, when was the last time Mizzou lost to an SEC school? I can't remember. I didn't lose to any when I was here. Even before that, so I think we'll do just fine.
You didn't lose very many games where you were with Missouri.
Exactly, you know that's credit to the type of establishment Coach Spinkle has made. So
how are the Eagles going to be this year?
We'll be better than last year. You know, last year was a disappointment. To all the Eagle fans, but we promise to be better this year.
And I understand that the scholarship that you're endowing, you want it to go to somebody preferably from Kirkwood or the Kirkwood area, which is where you're from.
Exactly. So just to kind of include everybody that kind of helped me, get to where I am today. But obviously, if nobody fills those requirements, then obviously, we'll go out to the best fitted person.
Nobody has more all-purpose yardage than Jeremy Macklin in Mizzou history, and we got a kickoff coming right now. Jeremy, thanks for being with us.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Jeremy, good to see you again, my friend. And boy, that is so awesome that he would endow a scholarship, preferably to an athlete from Kirkwood, where he went to high school, and also an athlete who has a 3.5 GPA or better. He's tied in the GPA with it as well, and it will be from someone from Missouri, probably Kirkwood, if they can get somebody.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it really is. So here they go, trying to start their offense again. Nathan Stanley, who we were told got the starting job because he didn't make mistakes, made one on the first possession as he throws it right to Xavier Gooden, and Gooden took it in the rest of the way for the score. Now starting from their own 30-yard line. They bring a man in motion, and the handoff is to that man, and again, absolutely going nowhere. That's Jeff Smiley with the ball, and Smiley lost a yard.
It's good to see Ebner back. after being injured last year. He's such a talented player. Coach Steckel calls him his coach on the field, and he's there. That linebacker core has this whole entire defense playing so together.
Well, Ebner moves back into the middle, which allows Andrew Wilson to move back to the outside. He played in the middle last year, and you've got two hard hitters in Ebner and Wilson, and of course the athleticism of Gooden, who had that interception. This time the catch is made by Jeremy Myers, and he muscles his way up to the 39, which will bring up 3rd and short. We're going to try to hurry up a little bit and keep the Tigers from making any defensive changes. Dave Steckel was all worried about what they were going to run, the Lions. Said it was hard to scout them because of the brand new coaching staff. They try to surge on the line, and Stanley pushes forward and does have the first down.
Number 12, Nathan Stanley. 1 yard gain.
Now Stanley, a senior, 6'5", 215 pounds, out of Tahlequah, Oklahoma. So fresh set of downs for southeastern Louisiana. 1st and 10 from the 40. Pass play is batted down at the line. Sheldon Richardson got a paw on that one. Incomplete. Let's check out the Lions offensively. We already told you about Nathan Stanley. That offensive line might be the strength of this offense. They have 4 of their 5 starters returning, including Paul Rapolo, who is the senior left tackle. As far as the backs and receivers are concerned, we have seen Hunter Craven and Jeremy Myers flip-flop at the tight end position. We haven't seen Chaney run the ball yet. Six guys up on the line, creating all kinds of havoc, and a nice play by Stanley to read that, and he busts to the outside and gets near midfield.
That's actually a great play by Stanley, just to see the ends come crashing down. You got to pull that on that type of play, and that's exactly what Stanley did. I think the turf monster got him a little bit, or he got a little frightened, heard some footsteps.
Heard some Tigers coming. So 3rd and 3. You see the linebackers again for the Tigers. We talked about them, and then in that on the defensive line, I say Coney Ely is playing at a different level. Matt Hoke, a converted tight end, and of course Michael Sam along with Richardson. Pass a little bit behind his intended receiver, Tony McCray, and dropped by McCray. It would have been a first down.
Missouri lines up in a straight man coverage here, and you don't see a whole lot of that, but I mean, it's a good ball, decent ball, should have been caught.
4th down and 3 near midfield, and it looks like they're going to go for it. This caught the Tigers a little bit by surprise as they're mixing up their personnel defensively. Big gamble here by the Lions, and it looks like they drew the Tigers offside.
Actually, what it looked like a potential quick kick. You saw Stanley step
start,
out, took about
offense,
2 steps.
number 74. 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
So it was a false start instead of drawing them offside, and now it'll be a fait accompli for the Lions. It'll be 4th and long, and no chance for them to go for it.
You got movement by your tackle, but Stanley took 2 steps back right there, and it looked like he was getting ready to. He was going to drop back a couple more steps and punt the ball.
They're back deep to get it. Marcus Murphy standing back at his own 18-yard line. The punter is Bo Mott. Here comes some pressure. Mott gets it away. No flag as he went down. Incidental contact, and it was Murphy able to bring it up to the 24-yard line. So the Tigers, who already lead 14-0 here in the first quarter, 7:49 remaining, will come back on offense. James Franklin has been pretty near perfect so far. He's 4 for 6 through the air for 32 yards and a touchdown. Be interesting to watch that offensive line tonight, Corby. You know, because this is a line that's kind of been thrown together out of necessity because of all the injuries they've had in camp.
A little makeshift.
There goes Lawrence. He busts to the outside. One man to beat. And he will beat him. Wow! "76 yards.
And that's what they're looking for. Like I said, that's the same type of back as Henry Josie. We've seen Henry Josie do this. We saw him do it as a true freshman. Kendall Lawrence has that same breakaway speed, that same burst. And once he got it, there's nobody that was going to catch him.
Lawrence spent a lot of time in the offseason watching literally every run by Trent Richardson, the fine running back from Alabama, who was the number 3 pick overall in the NFL draft. Looks like he picked something up from all that.
Looks like it.
A 76-yard run makes it 21-0.
Fans, take the pledge to drive sober and buckle up after every game. And you can win a gift certificate from the Tiger Team store. Any questions? We want all of our fans to visit SeeLouisiana.com. The exact memorable moments. This week we feature the Drone Miracle of the 2010 victory over San Diego State.
Well, we welcome you back, and we are just watching during that break a couple of replays, and we'll show them to you here as Kendall Lawrence. This is just flat-out speed and a good block on the outside.
The irony is you don't see the key block usually coming from the corner, and that's what just happened. The corner got forced inside, and Lawrence just hit the sideline. It was a wrap from there.
By the way, that 76-yard run, that's the longest of his career. Gary Pinkel's got to love the way this has begun. Todd Donahoe, that was some kind of speed by Lawrence.
Well, you know, it really is. Kendall Lawrence, a great guy. He's got a couple of tattoos on the back of each bicep. One says show and one says time. And I imagine Showtime was pumping pretty hard on that 76-yard run there as he was pumping those arms running all the way down the sideline.
Oh, man. You know, we were watching the angle that the safety had on Kendall Lawrence, and it looked like he had about a 5-yard advantage, and Lawrence just blew right by him.
There's absolutely no way he was going to make that play. Lawrence didn't even break stride, didn't think about making a move, didn't think about giving him a stutter step. He just took off and said, "You're not going to get me."
His last 4 games last year, Lawrence, 371 yards and 3 touchdowns. Of course, he missed 3 games last year with that broken leg, and then came back on strong after Josie went down. And coincidentally, in those last 4 games, they were all Tiger victories. Line drive kick this time. And that will be downed in the end zone. So they'll come out to the 25-yard line. Let's check out Kendall Lawrence year by year.
Look at that. His freshman year, he plays a true freshman, so he was great. As a sophomore, he kind of struggles a little bit because of that injury. He's just been hampered with injuries. Sophomore and junior year, he's got a shoulder in sophomore year, and then he gets a broken fibula his junior year. So he could have been doing this the whole entire time.
It's a great start. 1st and 10 for the Lions from the 25-yard line. Stanley still in there at quarterback. Like movement on the line, and the flag will bring this play to a halt before it gets started.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
That's the center. It's hard for isn't it hard for the center to have a false start?
I think he forgot the snap count. I've seen that happen multiple times.
Yep.
15.
Well, this is a nightmarish start for the Lions, and they just really know that their backs were against the wall already coming into this game. And for them, it's just, all right, let's just try to regroup here. Forget the scoreboard. Let's just try to play some solid football. 1st and 15. And a hit, and a fumble, and a recovery, and a touchdown. Michael Sam.
Wow. Stanley just got blown up. That's unbelievable. This defense is just attacking. They are all over the place. They're all over Southeast Louisiana.
Boy, how quick did Sheldon Richardson get into that backfield? Oh, excuse me, that wasn't Richardson. That was Ely. Coney Ely.
Incredible. And I really don't think the quarterback ever saw him coming. Nathan Stanley never had a chance to even react.
What did Coach Pinkel tell us earlier this week? Tell you guys, Coney Ely's playing at a different level. He's playing at a different level.
He sure did.
So the point after is good. And we're not even more than halfway through the first quarter, and it's 28-0.
Kicking off for Missouri. Back deep for Southeastern Louisiana. Number 16.
Well, if you have just joined us here at Memorial Stadium in Columbia, you've missed a lot already. 7:19 remaining in the first quarter, and it's 28-0.
Unbelievable. As a Missouri team, first game of the season, you want to get some work for all of your guys and all your veterans and get some of the rust off. But at this point, you got to think about pulling guys in the second quarter.
Trey Barrow to kick off. High end over ender. This one will go about 4 yards deep into the end zone, and they'll bring it out. And a good decision as they get it out to the 30-yard line. But here's what we've seen so far from the Tigers. We've seen a touchdown catch by T.J. Moe in the back of the end zone. We've seen a 76-yard touchdown run by Kendall Lawrence and 2 defensive touchdowns. An interception in return by Xavier Gooden, and then a sack by Coney Ely, causing a fumble that Michael Sam picked up and went into the end zone.
Total domination on both sides of the football.
Not ready to say any questions?
I don't know if we start chanting SEC just yet.
Devastated the Gulf Coast.
Talk about this Tigers defense, and well, let's listen to what E.J. Gaines has to say about it. All right, we'll get that back a little bit later. EJ didn't want to talk right now. It's a little busy out there. 28-0.
Defensively, we're seeing a lot of cover two, just base coverage by Missouri. I think you feel like they're getting enough pressure without doing much.
I would think they're right. Simple handoff that garners 1 yard. So not much room there for Michael Chaney on his first carry.
Number 26, Michael Chaney, the ball carrier.
This defense is just swarming, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Xavier Gooden.
Well, just consider this. Only 1 first down so far for the Lions.
From their own 31.
The Tigers already 119 rushing yards. Of course, 76 of those came on 1 play. The Tigers are averaging over 12 yards either through the air or on the ground so far tonight. It's a pass out to the flat. That's caught by Cheney. And he goes up the sideline just shy of the first down at the 39. It was E.J. Gaines over there to make the stop.
That was a good formation. They went 3 wides, nobody on the side, trips left, and there wasn't a whole lot of room down on the short side of the field, so they just swung their tailback out a little bit.
They're going out of that Wildcat formation, and they snapped it right to Cheney, and now we have a penalty flag.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
It's Jeremy Wilson, the left guard. That's the 3rd false start by Ron Roberts' team.
They knew coming in here they were going to have to play almost mistake-free to stay in this game, and they have done just the opposite of that.
By the way, the 2 defensive touchdowns for the Tigers in the same quarter. First time they've done that since 2006. The most points the Tigers have scored in a quarter, 31. That happened in both 91 and then again back in 1979. And a pass is caught by McCray, and that's enough for the first down. So he takes it up to the 45-yard line. Good pass that time by Stanley.
Great ball by Stanley, but that's the first time he's really had time to make a decent throw, other than the interception, which he had time to, just misread the defense.
Coverage there was by Kip Edwards, who has missed quite a bit of the fall with a knee injury, but good to see him back in the lineup.
As he was doubtful tonight.
Fresh set of downs, first down at the 45-yard line of the Lions. Play action. Time to throw it, another first down. First time the Lions have been in Tiger territory, and this one goes down to the 41-yard line, caught by Jarrett Johnson.
Again, looks like Stanley's finding a little comfort back there. Good protection again up front. Again, you're not seeing a whole lot of blitzes out of Missouri, which, again, they probably don't need to, but that's kind of a trademark of Dave Steckel defenses.
It looks like Stanley's got a good arm if you give him time to throw it.
Yeah, he looks solid back there.
When things are going bad, they go really bad. On a nice pass play, they bring it all back. It's to a penalty by the Lions.
Can't seem to get out of their own way.
So they're not in Tiger territory for the first time, not yet.
We right there.
I don't think the referee knew his mic was on as he was shouting instructions to the guys over there on the chains. He called them out in front of this entire crowd here at Memorial Stadium. So they've got to get this sorted out, and they move it back to the 45-yard line. I think what happened is the chain gang moved right after the completion, thinking it was an automatic first down, did not see the penalty flag, and then they had to figure out, oh, where was the ball?
I'm kind of with the chain gang. I didn't see the penalty flag either.
Now they move it back to the 40. Things are getting worse for the Lions. And now the chain gang will, well, they don't really know what they're doing. They're going back and forth right now. Hey, it's the first game for them, too. Cheney tripped up on the outside.
Great pursuit by Ebner.
Yep, really good open field tackle there.
Tackle on the play by 32, Will Ebner.
Ebner, as you mentioned, missed all of last year. He did not waste the time. He spent hours and hours and hours in the film room and with the defensive coordinator, Dave Steckel.
And what that does for you is you learn to diagram a play mentally, and you can diagnose what's going to happen before the play actually is run.
It's like the Tigers are going to bring pressure. And a good move by Stanley to move back to where the pressure was coming from, and he takes it to the 50.
That was interesting. So Missouri came with a blitz coming off that edge, and when you get a blitzer coming from there, you're not going to, as a quarterback, you know he's crashing hard. So that's almost an automatic pull on a read play.
So you pull, and then you pull to his side where he's coming from?
Yeah, the play was diagrammed to go to be somewhat of a trap coming back the other way, but the quarterback always has the option whether to give that or to pull it from the running back and keep it himself.
Third down, pass is incomplete. Well, you're right at midfield. And remember, before they looked like they were going to quick kick it on fourth down from about this same position. Like
Brad Madison.
Yeah.
Beautiful play by Brad. He's flowing to try to read the quarterback's eyes, and the quarterback threw behind him. He still got a hand on it, disrupted that entire play.
No trickery here. Beaumont comes in to punt. He's back at his own 35. Marcus Murphy is back inside the 10. I think the Tigers could have blocked that one if they wanted to. This one is going into the end zone for a touchback. Now on punts, they bring it back out to the 20.
No return.
I was almost going to ask you that question, Dave.
A little different on the punt. They bring it out to the 20-yard line. On the kickoff, they bring it out to the 25.
Well, with 3:42, I think that quarter scoring record may be in jeopardy.
It could be. And 31 points, the most points the Tigers have scored in a quarter. That's a lot of points in one quarter.
Yeah, it is.
Franklin steps up away from the pressure and will go down anyway. That'll be a sack. And celebrating on the play was Myro Stovall.
That was interesting. Stovall just came off the edge hard and was able to get to Franklin.
He's fired up about it too.
Beat Justin Britt.
Well, they're going to call it no loss. So I don't know if you give him credit for a sack there. Was Franklin able to get back up to the original line of scrimmage? And that's Murphy on the end around as he brings it up to the 24-yard line. Gain of 4, 3rd and 6. Murphy in his sophomore year, he missed last year with a shoulder injury.
For the Lions. 4-yard gain. 3rd down and 6, Missouri.
An empty backfield for James Franklin. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Corby, but I've only seen DGB one time so far, and that was on that near the goal line.
It's the only time I saw him also.
And I've been just corrected by our truck that he's actually been in for 5 possessions. So it's good to know. They haven't targeted him yet. They do target Washington here, and he picks up the first down.
Correct. Small window for Franklin here. Good throw, a little behind him, but I mean, when you got wide receivers like these guys that are so big and so strong, just get them the ball, get anywhere near them, then they're going to make a play on it.
You think you got Washington at 6'4", you have Lucas at 6'5", you have DGB at 6'6". I mean, that's a lot of height. What an advantage for the quarterback, right?
There he is.
And there he is, DGB. And he's able to shift forward a little extra effort and get it up to the 46. His first catch as a Tiger. It won't be his last.
It will not, and you can hear the crowd. The crowd notices it. Just a little slip screen. That's the play we saw earlier. It just wasn't him on the play.
Coach Pinkel was telling us they knew he was fast, but they said you just don't believe how fast he is at 6'6", and how he can really just glide down the field. A little option play here. There goes Murphy. And Murphy goes all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Well executed by James Franklin there. Taking the ball directly to the EOL, that's the end man in the line of scrimmage, and then dishing it. Once you know that he can't make that play on your back, you need to get him the ball, let your back get the corner. Great pitch. That's how they drew it out.
So Devin Walker, the defender there, he's kind of in no man's land. If he doesn't come in on Franklin, then Franklin just takes it up the field.
That's the thing about the option. When it's well blocked, it's assignment football. And if you get everybody blocked, then you're going to win.
Running again. Good hard run again by Murphy. Well, he didn't settle. When he was the contact was first there, he was able to push forward. And it looks like he fumbled the ball at the end of that play. Murphy thought he was down, but they were ruling it a fumble on the field, and the Lions recovered. Let's look at it again. Boy, it looked like he was down, didn't it?
I don't think it was. I don't think he was.
Well, they ruled it a fumble, and they say the Lions were able to recover.
It appeared maybe his hand went down, but he was rolling on top of someone. So either his knee or some other part of his body had to hit the ground before that ball came out.
And are they going to review this play? I think so. Well, 40 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. Maurice Sutton was the guy that recovered the ball.
Either his shoulder or his forearm would have had to have been down. From the look we got, it appeared that
Missouri, second timeout this half.
So they're not going to review the play. It's a timeout. Let's see if we can look at it again here. Well, there's a fight for the ball right there.
he's not down.
No, he's not down. You're right. He is not down.
And then when he does fall, his knee comes on top of a downed player, which makes absolutely no difference.
Right. That was Sutton just reaching in there and grabbing that ball away from Murphy. Right there as they're going down, Sutton just strips that ball. It was a good play by Maurice Sutton.
Solid defensive play.
Yeah, it was. And you see the ball, we circled it there as it's coming out. Now, did he have possession of the ball before they went out of bounds? That's another question. See, does he have possession here? He's rolling out. Does anybody have possession of this ball? It could be just an incomplete or a fumble, but a fumble out of bounds.
That's very possible.
Yeah, a fumble, but a fumble out of bounds. Because I don't think they actually recovered the ball in bounds. There, now he's got it and he's sitting out of bounds. See, it's hard to see where that ball is.
Here's the problem from the angles we're getting. Is there anything that's indisputable?
Yeah. Because the ruling on the field was it's a fumble and a recovery. Now, right there, it's in the seat of his pants. You see it? So he doesn't have possession there. Does he there? But look at his foot. His right foot is out of bounds there. That should just be a fumble, but a fumble out of bounds, and should be Tiger ball.
I'd agree.
And that is conclusive evidence in my mind.
It's awful early in the season for me to start speculating.
I'm not I'll go ahead. I'll go out on a limb.
Okay.
I'm going on the limb, and I'll say that will be reversed. This call will be reversed, and it'll be Tiger ball.
I'm with you on the call.
Well, now you are.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm just not making the call myself.
Okay.
I'm right behind you.
All right. It was a great play by Sutton, nonetheless.
It was.
But I don't think
play.
it's going to be a fumble recovery by Sutton because he was out of bounds when he actually had possession.
Yeah, I think Sutton ripped at the ball, but I don't think Sutton even knew that the ball came out.
Our referee is Ken Williamson. he's in communication with the replay booth upstairs. And this is one of the angles that they're looking at. Now, it's clear that the ball comes out, and it's clear that Murphy was not down. There's the ball, and it definitely has come out. But here's where things get a little bit. See, the ball, no one has possession right there. The ball is loose. And then you can see the ball here. And again, unless you give him possession with the ball between his legs.
I've seen that happen before. That was my next comment. If he traps it back with, if he's got it between his legs and he traps it with his back hand, if they say that happened before his foot hits the out of bounds line,
I'm not wavering.
Okay.
I'm sticking with my original call.
I'm wavering.
All right. And I think that's why it's taking so much time to look at it. I believe this is going to be reversed, though, and it will be Tiger ball. Whatever it is, it shouldn't take this long.
I agree. We've seen this many days, though.
I mean, I know they want to get it right, and rightfully so, but we've seen it 7 or 8 times now.
After further review, after the fumble, the ball is recovered by a player who was out of bounds. Therefore, it's a fumble out of bounds. It'll be Missouri's ball, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. The ball will be positioned on the left hash.
Like I said, always listen to Mr. Armstrong.
Sometimes you have to go out on a limb. That's where the fruit is. That was really just a great job by our crew here in Columbia.
Look at Coach Pinkel. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, though. I guarantee you he got on to Murphy when he got to the sideline, though. Just because we got it that time, you need to hang on to the football.
Well, again, heads up play by Sutton. It just was he was rolling out of bounds before he got possession. So that's a fumble, but it's a fumble that goes out of bounds. And the Tigers have the ball on a fresh set of downs at the 31 of the Lions. Franklin feeling a little bit of pressure. That one skipped into the arms of Mo and incomplete.
It's nice to see James stay in the pocket, though, on a play like that. He could have bolted a little bit once he's felt a little bit of pressure, but it was good to see him stand in there, try to get that ball out so quickly.
Elvis Fisher again moving back into his left tackle position, missing all of last year with a knee injury. Got great news in February when the NCAA granted him a 6th year for medical hardship.
I feel like I almost played with Elvis Fisher.
Elvis has not left the building. This time the pass right on target to Mo. He's spinning around waiting for the contact. It never came until he was out of bounds at the 26-yard line with 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Brad gets that, James Franklin gets that off just in time with the blitzer coming off the top edge.
So it's 3rd down, 3rd and 5 to go for the Tigers. They're going to run for it and will not get it as Lawrence takes that ball down to the 24-yard line. So that'll bring the first quarter to an end. What a productive quarter. First it was T.J. Moe in the back of the end zone with a touchdown grab. Then a pick by Xavier Gooden and the touchdown. A sack and a touchdown here by Sam, and of course the 76-yard run by Lawrence.
Allen. Oh. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's good here.
Kicks off September 17th.
Welcome back to Columbia and Memorial Stadium as the Missouri Tigers already have a 28-0 lead, a very productive first quarter for the Tigers as they begin their season against Ron Roberts, the head coach of the Lions of Southeastern Louisiana. You look at the numbers from that first quarter, and as you would expect, the Tigers have dominated in every category.
A bit skewed, if you will.
207 total yards to just 31 for the Lions, and of course those 2 turnovers, both of them resulted in defensive touchdowns for Mizzou.
I like seeing the 3 rushing yards because one of the question marks coming into this season is, can this Missouri defense handle the physicality of the SEC and the big backs, the pro-style offense? And right now, granted, this is an FCS opponent, but they're showing that they're a physical ball club.
You know, normally at this time you'd say, oh no, here comes the rain, but the drought that we've had this summer, I think it's a welcome relief for everyone here. Although for the Lions of Southeastern Louisiana, they've seen far too much rain this last week.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But you know, hey, again, like their coach said, they're coming out here and they're enjoying playing football. It's a break for them. It's a vacation. It's a release.
You know, 4th down here, so they're going to go for a field goal. And again, Baggett, just in the last couple of days, won the kicking battle with Trey Barrow. And he will attempt a long one here. This one from 42 yards out. And TJ Moe is the holder, and he'll have to do it in a driving rain. Looks like there might have been some movement first by the Tigers.
False start, offense, number 60, 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
So now you make it a 47-yard field goal. And I think you go ahead and try to kick it here. I think this challenges your kicker. Why not?
That's when you have a kicking battle like they've had, you've got to find somebody that can stand up when it comes to when the lights come on, when the bullets start flying.
But they're taking the field goal unit off the field, it looks like. And the punting unit is going to come on. No, instead it's Franklin. They're going to go for it here. So instead of bringing the punt unit out or trying a 47-yard field goal, they'll go for it here on 4th and 8. And more movement, or someone call timeout. The Tigers want to think this one over.
Timeout.
So let's go downstairs to Todd Donahoe.
Second timeout of the half.
Well, during the timeout, let's talk with the dean of the college, the Trulaskey College of Business here at the University of Missouri, Dean Joan Gable. And Dean Gable, what's new at the College of Business?
We're in a great phase right now, Todd. As you've probably heard, we've had record freshman enrollment in the entire university, and the Trulaskey College of Business is no exception. We're up over 200 students, and they're the most academically qualified students we've ever had. Plus, we've launched a bunch of new programs that allow them to take all the core College of Business classes, in addition to now out of the classroom experiential learning experiences in entrepreneurship, sales, professionalism, marketing analytics, and more. So things are great in the Trulaskey College.
Tell us about the new MBA program for working professionals.
We're very excited about this program. It's called the Exec MBA, just launched this year with 19 of the most amazing professionals in Missouri and around the country that you'd ever want to meet, who are our newest batch of True Tigers. We're so glad to have them. And this is a program that takes 21 months. You come to campus 8 times over the course of those 21 months. You do 1 international experience, and the rest of the work is done online so that you can continue to work and have your life while you complete your MBA.
All right, we just saw the play there. Missouri failed on 4th and 8. So let's finish the interview. Rankings are important in college football. Rankings are important in the College of Business.
Well, fortunately, our rankings are good in the College of Business, too. We're up to number 29 among publics on the undergrad, number 27 among publics for our MBA programs. Our accounting program is in the top 20 nationally, and our students give us an A+ in the Bloomberg Business Week rankings for our student services and job placement, so we're looking really good.
And quickly, the future of the College of Business.
The future's bright. You know, a new era begins on the field and across campus, and we have great programs launching, the best students and faculty in the building, and great programs for them to complete, give them a real edge when they graduate.
Dean Joan Gable, thank you very much for visiting with us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And I've got the only umbrella here, guys, so she's keeping her hair dry, okay?
Yeah, make sure it's your main job right now, Todd, is keeping everybody high and dry down there on the field. And again, Nathan Stanley has been in a quarterback the entire game. They tell us we might see Brian Young, the other quarterback for the Lions, at some point in this game. Stanley so far 3 for 7 for 28 yards and an interception. And a quick hitter across the middle as he's able to get the ball out to Blaine LeBlanc and a short gain.
Honestly, the passes he's completing are good balls, but I love the fact that these receivers are blanketed. He's fitting it in a hole, but as soon as these guys catch the ball, there's no running room for him.
So it's 3rd and 6 for the Lions. Pass to the outside is complete, and breaking a tackle is McCray, and he gets across midfield and all the way down to the 40-yard line.
I might have just jinxed the Tigers. Honestly, on that play, I don't think that there was much running room. It was just a missed tackle. Coverage is still solid. It's a good ball. And again, that was Kip Edwards coming. I don't know if he's 100%, but I mean, he needs this kind of work right now. He'll normally make that play.
Kip just about a half step slow, as you would expect coming off that knee injury. That was a 28-yard pass play, almost doubled the output of Stanley here tonight. Little pitch back. And not much room to run for Cheney, and he is tripped up by Edwards. The rain that we're getting here in Columbia is all the result of Hurricane Isaac that is making its way up through the Midwest, the drought-stricken Midwest. And Columbia today and last night, started yesterday actually, has received almost 4 inches of rain as a result of this. 2nd and 6. Quick hitter to the outside. And again, there is Kip Edwards defensively.
There's just so many black jerseys every time a play is made, and that's so comforting to see right now.
Just a 2-yard gain, so it's 3rd and 4. With Corby Jones and Todd Donahoe, I'm Dave Armstrong. Glad to have you with us here at Memorial Stadium and Furrow Field. Tigers lead 28-0, doing all the damage in the first 8 minutes of this contest. And now they'll blow this play dead, and a timeout is taken by the Lions.
Southeast Louisiana, first timeout this half.
So they have 2 timeouts remaining, and we'll take the timeout with them. 11:45 to go till halftime, 28-0 Mizzou.
Official travel agency of Mizzou Athletics. Hey, Mizzou fans. Join the right here in Missouri. Just like us at facebook.com/craftsfighthunger. Feeding America food. Thanks, Tiger fans. The first quarter statistics are brought to you by
Coach Gary Pinkel calls E.J. Gaines one of the best defensive backs he has ever coached. And Gaines talks about the defense of Missouri this year.
We have a good secondary back there. Everyone's coming back. We bring a lot of guys back. We didn't graduate very many seniors. So just the leadership that we have on the team is really what's going to be getting us through this season.
Last year, the Missouri Tigers gave up 380 yards of total offense per game and 23 points per contest. I think they're going to do better than that this year, even though they play in the very tough SEC.
I think so, too. I'm really impressed with the play of the front four right now. Ely, Hoke, Richardson, Sam and Madison are kind of the same guy because they're interchangeable. They both see a lot of time. I think that's the strongest unit on the field right now. The linebackers clearly are the leaders, but I think that front four is going to be crucial for them.
And it is raining right now, folks. It's a torrential downpour here at Faurot Field. So it's 3rd down and 4 yards to go for the Lions. Pressure, and as the pressure comes, the pass to McCray, and really good help in that secondary as they're able to hold McCray shy of the 1st down marker. Dave Steckel, who says he worries about everything. Right now he's got to be thrilled with his defense pitching a shutout.
As long as they keep playing like this, I'm telling you, that's 2 edge rushers and I think a blitzer. And look how many jerseys you've got. You've got 5 Missouri jerseys right there.
Well, he wants the stop right here. 4th and 1. I think he got the stop. Let's see where they spot it. Love that reaction. Steckel had to roll up those sleeves and show you his guns.
Those guns, yeah.
I think that's what he was telling his defense. Time to roll up our sleeves and go to work here on 4th and 1. And they did it. They stopped him.
And the guy who really made that play was Sheldon Richardson. Getting around, getting inside, making the play down low. Again, that front four is pretty solid.
Richardson, he's battled injuries too. And Corby, he's lost about 20 pounds, gained a lot of muscle mass. He's playing at a different level this year.
Yeah, the coach is saying that he looks like a linebacker. That's how quick he is.
So 1st down for the Tigers as they take over on downs at their own 31-yard line. High snap gathered in by Franklin, and he just runs back to the middle of the line and picks up a couple.
James Franklin, the ball carrier.
In this rain, that ball is going to get a little slick. I don't care how many balls you rotate. I've seen it. I've seen it multiple times.
Difficult to throw in conditions like this?
Difficult to snap, as you can see right there. Most of the time, it's not as hard throwing it. The center has a little more problem.
Well, you think you get a dry ball, and then once you put it on the turf, it's wet instantly.
That's correct.
Pressure coming, and the pass goes in that direction. Boy, picking his way through all of that traffic is a good play by Marcus Lucas.
Like we mentioned earlier, just get the ball out there, and these big wideouts will make some plays for you.
It's going to be interesting to gauge yards after the catch this year for the Tigers. I think that's going to be a significant statistic. So a 1st down across midfield at the 46 of the Lions. That snap is becoming more and more dangerous, and Marcus Murphy able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
That is the worst time to get a high snap when you've got a run play design.
Why?
Because it changes the timing of everything. When James Franklin has to jump up and catch that ball, he has to find Lawrence and get him the ball back, or Murphy and get him the ball back. And the offensive line is thinking timing. Murphy's thinking timing, and it just throws everything off.
Now the fans will say that's only maybe a half a second, but that half second makes all the difference.
These guys move pretty quick.
And the pass in and out of the hands of T.J. Moe. Moe, by the way, 7th overall now in total receptions for his career.
You know the rain has to be affecting something when you see T.J. Moe drop a ball.
Right.
Granted, it's a little out of reach, but he usually makes that play.
I love his enthusiasm for the game and what he brings. He is very candid with his comments, but I like it. I really do. I think he speaks his mind, but he speaks it in a way that's very confident. Not cocky, but confident.
It could be mistaken. I'd like for him to be a little less candid with some of his comments.
You look at T.J. Moe in the last couple of years, 146 receptions and over 1,600 yards, and now look at him, over 1,700 yards, 11 touchdowns, including 1 tonight. And look at the lineup of those top 4. Pretty good top 4, wouldn't you say?
Those guys are solid.
Robert Alford.
So he's in the top 10 now in receiving yards, in the top 7 in receptions. Barrow's punt. It's taken in at the 10-yard line. A fair catch there. And we've got a timeout on the field with 8:43 remaining in the first half.
Delta Dental of Missouri wants to see your healthy smiles. It's time for the Delta Dental.
This morning, it is an honor to announce that I will be continuing my education this fall at the University of it was a big effect. All the fans that came to some of my games, just calm and just patient. Not having me rush things and just to be able to go off of what I want them based off of and be able to play in. That's a big opportunity to be up here and to have all my friends and family and mom and dad know to follow me no matter wherever I go. But it's going to be a big threat for me to just go out there and to compete.
Interesting, in talking to the coaches this week, Gary Pinkel was telling us that he went into his office, left the door open, but did not turn on the TV. None of the coaches knew for sure that he was going to pick the University of Missouri. And then when he put that cap on and everybody started screaming, Pinkel said, I heard the noise and the commotion in the football offices, and I came out and we were all high-fiving and celebrating. The #1 recruit in the land comes to Missouri.
That's a huge step for this program.
And how many more doors will that open across the country when the #1 pick says, I'm staying home and playing for the Tigers?
Well, it should open plenty. If you, historically speaking, once you see one guy, one blue chipper, others will follow. And they will follow in pretty close succession.
And one of the things they've said about DGB, I said, any surprises since he's been on campus? You scouted him, you saw every play he made in high school, and they said, didn't know he was this humble. We didn't know he could block the way he can block, because he never had to block in high school. He's better, actually, than they thought he was going to be, and of course they thought he was going to be great.
When you say blocking, don't concern the fans, because I know a lot of people are thinking he's listed as the backup Y, which is a tight end traditionally.
Exactly.
We've been assured that he will never be a point of attack blocker. They're not going to do that with him.
Well, they talked about Alexander playing in this similar role.
Yeah, they said Denar Alexander played 85% of his plays at the Y slot. So their Y is more of a terminology issue than it is a position. The Y is always going to go play side for them. and it just kind of simplifies things for a true freshman that's going to be on the football field.
The thing for him is once he grasps the playbook and it becomes second nature for him, that's when the true athleticism will really come out.
They've said that they just don't want him thinking too much. Coach Pinkel said, he's seen glimpses of Macklin in him. And if you can say that about a true freshman, then, you got something special.
Well, Cheney here on offense for the Lions. He brings the ball up to the 26-yard line. Let's look at Michael Cheney with some hard yards inside.
4-yard gain. Second down and 6. Lions from their own 20.
I don't think the defensive line is being controlled as much as they're kind of slipping. That rain is hindering us a lot more than I thought it would.
2nd and 6, pass to the flat is caught, and that'll be another first down. Pass is caught on the outside by Smiley.
Nathan Stanley's pass complete to number 14, Jeff Smiley.
And then move the chains again up to the 34-yard line. Clock moving under 7 minutes in the first half. And all the scoring took place in the first 8 minutes of this contest. And it looks like the rain has let up at least. Still a light drizzle. They give it to the back in motion. And he is hog-tied at the 35-yard line.
We've seen them try to do that multiple times. They're getting the back the ball on a sweep, but the pursuit of Missouri is just so good that you're unable to do anything with it. You're unable to outflank them, and unless you can outflank them, running sweeps is not going to help you.
By the way, the Southeastern Louisiana Lions are an FCS team, which means Football Championship Subdivision, which used to be called Division I AA. And they will play in the Southland Conference with teams like Sam Houston State, who's ranked number 1 in the country in that division. And, of course, Stephen F. Austin in Central Arkansas. And it's a very, very good conference. This pass is intended for number 14, Smiley, and incomplete.
Oh, Smiley. Smiley heard some footsteps. It happens.
So 3rd and 9. Nathan Stanley, 9 for 14 in this game for 80 yards. And you can see, not bad, 3 for 6 on 3rd downs for the Lions. This one tipped at the line and incomplete.
Pass intended for number 6.
Tony McCray was the intended receiver, but that ball was tipped at the line.
Just the push of those front four is so outstanding right now.
Brad Madison, who's backing up Michael Sam at defensive end, got his mitts up in the air. That'll bring up a 4th down, and Bo Mott will be punting the ball. Marcus Murphy standing back at his 28. Pretty good punt. Left-footed punter. And this one takes a bounce. I'm not sure why the Lions decided to down it at the 25. That ball had some good momentum going. They might have been able to get 10 more yards out of that anyway. So Gary Pinkel talking about the SEC and the move and the commitment the Tigers have made to move into their new conference.
You have to evaluate now not how you rank nationally against teams. How do you rank within the SEC as far as facilities, as far as budgets, as far as commitment to football, college football? And my point to the curators and the president and the chancellor of our university was, if you're going to do this, and I want to be a player in it, I want to compete in it. And in order to do that, we have to invest. And the good news is, as they gave me their word, that's what they're doing. The University of Missouri is doing it, and it's tremendously positive.
And it's not just their word, Todd. They're putting their money where their mouth is.
Well, this summer, the Board of Curators, University of Missouri, approved $200 million of capital improvements to the athletic facilities. coming in several stages. One stage is going to be they're going to put luxury boxes on the east end of the field. That's the student side of the field toward the Hearn Center. So it's going to look just like the west side with the press box and all the luxury seating. Then they're going to move the whole end of the field, the north end of the field where the brick block M is, where the stone block M is, and they're going to move that about 30 yards toward the field, so those seats will actually come closer. They're going to keep the M, but they're going to move it 30 yards closer to the field. That's going to be a big fill project. And then on the south end of the field, you know, the seats don't go as high on the south end of the field as it does for the east and the west stands. They're eventually going to raise that up as well. They're going to do many other improvements, restroom facilities, bigger concourses, beautification. That's just the football stadium, of course. They're also going to be doing things for the softball field, the baseball field, and lots of the athletic facilities. It's upgrading in the SEC.
Todd, it's a huge project. Obviously, it's not going to happen overnight. What's the timeline?
Well, they'll actually start making some improvements after this season, and it'll be ongoing for the next 3 or 4 years. But by 2013, they may have the luxury boxes on the east side.
So some great improvements here for the Missouri Tigers, and I love what Pinkel said there. Look, if we're going to do this, I want to be a player. I don't want to just go to the SEC. I want to be competitive in the SEC.
And he wants to be able to go and get these kids and sell these kids too. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's so comforting to hear him say, "Okay, I understand what I'm going to have to do. So give me the tools to be able to do it."
He was telling us too that, you know, maybe part of it is DGB signing, part of it is the move to the SEC, part of it is the improved facilities. Whatever the reason, they're getting in on kids and recruits that they weren't in on before.
Correct. And there's a lot to say about that. I mean, he's done a tremendous job as it is, and for him to say that they're getting kids now or they're having the ability with the SEC, then I mean that's just continued improvement.
Oh, good move at the line. What a great run by Kendall Lawrence, and he takes it across midfield to the 47-yard line. Theo Alexander saved a touchdown for the Lions.
27 yards.
Once again, great block right there. And then the little stutter step. Stiff arm. There you go. Don't run out of bounds. Great block.
Bud Sasser, nice block on the edge. 27-yard run. Remember, he had one of 76 yards for a touchdown earlier. So Lawrence over 100 yards. And this time caught in the backfield, right back to midfield.
That's the timing issue that I was talking about. Right there, it was almost supposed to look like a pass. It was a design draw of sorts. Kendall Lawrence gets there too quick, so no one's fooled. So the defense flow, it's already going that way. That's why he gets caught in the backfield.
So 8 rushes, 110 yards. It's a pretty good average. You'd take that for the year, wouldn't you?
I'd take it.
Helps to toss in one of those 76-yarders every now and then.
Yeah.
So a loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Mo's coming in motion. They give it to Mo, and he's able to only get a yard.
Number 28, TJ Moe, the ball carrier.
Maurice Sutton stood his ground.
Tackled by number 7.
Over the years, we've seen a lot of that. TJ Moe carrying the football. TJ Moe, that's why he's so high on the list of total yards, because he does everything. He catches the ball, he returns the ball, he runs the football.
Lions 46.
3rd down and 9. Two for 5, the Tigers on 3rd down, and that pass a little bit too far for Lucas.
Just missed him.
Pass intended for number 85, Marcus Lucas. Incomplete.
Franklin had plenty of time, just misses him a little bit.
It looked like Lucas didn't quite come out of his break with authority, and probably a lot of that is because of a wet field.
That's possible too.
Barrow to punt. This one kind of off the side of the foot. Fair catch is made at the 17-yard line. So 2:45 remaining till halftime. The Lions will get the ball back. Still have not scored.
They still haven't threatened to score.
Yeah. They've been down to the 30 a couple of times, but that's as close as they've gotten. Gary Pinkel likes the overall look of this team, and when you look at it, one of the words that comes to mind for everyone is chemistry. Let's listen to TJ Moe and what he says about team chemistry.
Chemistry is really good this year. I think this is the best leadership I've been around on a team that I've been on. Maybe the hardest working team that I've been around, and very disciplined. Guys really want to be there. They like each other. The chemistry is very good, and that's not true about a lot of teams.
Yeah, Gary Pinkel says we've got the experience on the defensive side of the ball. We have the weapons on the offensive side of the ball. And overall, TJ Moe and these guys, they really get along. They've had a good fall camp outside of the injury situation.
Exactly. And we talked about the injuries. We touched on that. And even TJ's talking about mostly the offensive side of the ball, but defensive side of the ball, we talked to Coach Steckel, and Coach Steckel said that that's his favorite part of this defense is their togetherness and the team chemistry and how they motivate each other and they want to go out there and play for each other.
And I tried to set him up by saying, is the linebacker core the strength of your defense? Immediately, no, the strength of our defense is all 11 guys. The strength of our defense is their chemistry. Well, we've certainly seen that here in this game. They have 2 defensive touchdowns in this contest, an interception and a return for a touchdown by Gooden, and then a sack by Ely and a recovery by Salmon into the end zone. First time they've had 2 defensive touchdowns in the same game since 2006. Coming up at halftime, Frank Haith, the basketball coach here for the men at Missouri, will be our guest, and it's band day here as well at Memorial Stadium, so we'll listen to the Mizzou marching band. And of course, we'll have first half highlights, and there were many of those for the Tigers.
I would think Coach Pinkel would have wanted to get a little more accomplished in this quarter.
Ron Roberts, I think the silver lining he can take out of these clouds, and he's seen too many clouds this week, but the silver lining he can take out is since they've kind of righted the ship a little bit. It was 28-0 with 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Well, since then it's been scoreless. Here's Stanley, and he's able to get the ball out on the wing to Frugier, and Frugier takes it out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 2:35 remaining.
I think this is the only way that these guys can keep Missouri off balance. Play action, run action plays. Get Stanley out of the pocket. Can't let him sit back there because Missouri's proved they can pin their ears back and come after him every single play.
It's almost like Missouri right now is sort of in a prevent defense. I mean, they're kind of laying back just a little bit. They're not trying to bring a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
they're just playing a standard defense.
Yeah, it's just a base defense. I wouldn't call it prevent.
No, not that, but I'm just saying they're giving some room, they're giving some space. They're not blitzing. But they're hitting hard at the line. Not much room to run there.
And with Southeast Louisiana backed up and with this kind of time on the clock, I mean, at this point you are in kind of a bend don't break mode.
1 yard gain.
Zeke Jones got a yard. Coney Ely was there to make the stop.
32.
Ely, just a sophomore. Out of New Madrid, Missouri. And diving to go out of bounds and stopping the clock, Stanley.
That's not going to work. Design quarterback draw. That was a run all the way, and Missouri wasn't fooled, and they're not going to get fooled.
Matt Hoke, who wears that number 89, you think that's a strange number, but he was a tight end when he first came from Iowa.
Missouri's just too fast.
Loss of 2.
And by the way, Gary Pinkel said we always thought he'd be on the defensive line, but we let him play tight end at first. And he says, that's our thing, is if a guy wants to play a certain position, we let him do it. He said, no, I do have some rules. I'm not going to let Evan Boehm all of a sudden play quarterback. But he said within reason, if a guy thinks he's a tight end or wants to be a tight end, and eventually they kind of get it. And they say, no, I think I'd be better on the defensive line. And certainly Matt Hoke has put on more weight, and he's doing a great job at nose guard.
And that's the measure of a coach, and that tells you what kind of a player's coach Coach Pinkel is. He wants his players to come there and play where they come here and play where they want to play. And if he doesn't want to make them unhappy by changing their position if they don't want to change. eventually he hopes they'll see if it's for the betterment of the team, they will make that move.
They're making the move to the SEC, the Tigers, and here's what they have to look forward to. Look at the 2011 records, and of course their current rankings: Alabama, LSU, Georgia, South Carolina, and Arkansas, all in the top 10.
And it's so early in the season, though. Who knows what those rankings even mean at this point?
Gets everyone all excited about Georgia coming here next week.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a big one. I think this place is going to be rocking.
Alabama, a big game going on right now against the University of Michigan down in Jerry Jones Dome in Dallas.
That's a big one.
So 3rd and 12 from the 29 of the Lions. Let's see if the Tigers pin their ears back a little bit here. Expecting pass. Good pocket. Pass is downfield and it is incomplete. Broken up at the last second by Walker. What a play.
Great play. Timed it perfectly. Saw the ball go up. That's what a safety does, though. He's backing up. They're in a cover 2. It looks like again. Yes, true cover 2. He breaks on it. Makes the play.
Tony McCray thought he had a nice catch until Kenronte Walker came up and disrupted things. Now it's a personal foul called against the Tigers. Was that after the play, or was that on?
No, that's on Walker. They're saying targeting. He hit him too high. There's 2 penalties. There's leading with the head, and then there's targeting. He doesn't lead with the head, but he hits him too high. If you hit above the shoulder level, then they can call a personal foul on that.
Southeastern Louisiana.
Looked like he was just trying to knock the ball
out. That's exactly
out,
what he was trying to do.
And not trying to hit him high. He was just knocking the ball out.
That's the difficulty of it, because it's a judgment call.
Yeah. And I understand the rule, but I think in that case, the ball was high, and Walker was just trying to go for the ball and knock it loose, which he did.
And he even hit it with his hands. He didn't hit it with his shoulder, with his face mask. He hit the ball with his hands.
Well, there's Matt White making an immediate stop on Stanley Moore for virtually no gain, a gain of 1. He'll take it up to the 45, and only 1 timeout remaining for the Lions this half. No timeouts remaining for the Tigers, and we're winding down to the 1-minute mark. That one short hops the intended receiver McCray and incomplete.
Number 6, Tony McCray. Defended on the play by number 31, E.J. Gaines. Third down and 9. SLU from their own 45.
I can see the defense bowing their backs right here. They don't want to give up anything. They don't want to give up any points before half.
The flags come in. Missouri definitely jumped.
But it looked like it was on the left side of the offensive line, and then the offensive lineman on the right side moved. So in order to get a penalty on Missouri, the person directly in front of you has to move. And from what they're signaling, it looks like that wants to happen also.
Offside. Defense, number 57. The movement by the defense caused the offense to react. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's exactly the call, Coach.
Yeah, that reaction right there. I don't think we saw that.
Yeah. Madison was the one, not Ely, but it was Madison who they called it on. So the gain of 5 there. It's 3rd and 4. 6 guys up on that line.
It looks like straight man coverage.
8 guys in the box. Now they'll drop out.
Cover 2 again.
And that pass was threaded inside to Stanley Moore. And Moore driven out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Stanley hadn't thrown a ball like that all day. That was a great ball with a small window.
Well, that was right on target to Moore.
Solid coverage.
Yep. So with the clock now at 48 seconds, Missouri would like to keep their shutout intact. Pass on the wing. It is caught by Smiley. And Smiley gains 5 down to the 25-yard line. Again, 1 timeout remaining for the Lions.
They continue to try to outflank Missouri. But Kip Edwards getting off the tackle, fighting off the block. That's what he's been doing all night, actually. He's been doing a great job of getting off blocks.
Pass to Chaney coming out of the backfield. And now a flag down in the backfield as one of the Lions lost his helmet. But there's going to be a face mask call against the Tigers, another personal foul.
You know, Coach Pinkel and Coach Steckel strongly dislike this.
Second personal foul against the Tigers. The first one was questionable. This one is not.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 47. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
So this is by far and away the Lions' best position on the field. They've never been inside the 10 before. First and goal with 15 seconds remaining at the 9. It's Tony Ely who was whistled for that face mask call. There's a flag on the play, and the pass is incomplete.
When a flag comes out that early, it's usually a false start or someone moved that was uncovered, illegal shift.
Clock is down to 3 seconds, too. I think the Tigers will go ahead and push him back here. So if they do go for a field goal, which I don't know if they will, I mean, down 28-0, do you go for a field goal?
Illegal formation, offense, more than 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And they'll back him up to the 14-yard line. And just as I thought, no field goal unit coming out here.
Second down and goal from the 14. Lions line up in field goal formation.
Well, they are going to line up for the field goal here. This is Sebastian trying one from 31 yards out. A line drive that splits the uprights. So the Lions are on the board with a nice drive in the last 2.5 minutes of the half.
30 yards of it were given to them by Missouri, though, with those penalties.
And that's the way the first half comes to a close. The Lions finally get on the board after the Tigers did all their damage in the first quarter, scoring 4 touchdowns in the first 8 minutes of the contest. So as they head off to their respective locker rooms, Todd is in the midst of that throng of Tigers heading for the locker room and searching out Coach Pinkel to get his thoughts on the first half. Let's go down to Todd. Well, unfortunately, we lost the microphone. I think the wetness got to the microphone down on the field. So anyway, I'm sure Coach Pinkel was saying, for the most part, a really good first half, especially the first good 8 minutes of the game. That's when Missouri dominated this contest. And at the half, it's the Tigers 28 and the Lions 3.
on the field being acknowledged. 6, 7, 6 back, 5 back, 4 back, 3 back.
600 local youth. At this time, Mizzou.
Welcome back to Faurot Field at Memorial Stadium here in Columbia. Jeremy Macklin, who we talked to earlier in this game. Of course, that scholarship for Jeremy Macklin that he has donated to the University of Missouri. It's really nice to see players like that from the Philadelphia Eagles now coming back and paying homage to their alma maters. Joining us now is the head basketball coach here at the University of Missouri, Frank Haith. And Frank, you guys just got back from a European tour. Tell us about that and how your team looks for the coming season.
Well, it was great for us, Dave. We got a lot of new guys. Matter of fact, Mike Dixon was the only guy that played over in Europe that played last year. So it was good to get our new guys out there to compete and to build some chemistry. You know, they had a chance to spend time with each other and spend time with our coaching staff.
For the most part, you have almost a brand new team. I know you get Lawrence Bowers back, and Flip Pressey, of course, is coming back, but you have so many newcomers.
A lot of new guys, and guys with some experience, though. But they played it. We had a couple transfers, and Alex Oriaki there, we got late, who was a big get for us, and with some size. We'll have a different looking team, and then we'll be bigger, and we'll have probably a little bit more deeper.
How about your freshmen? I know we know something about the transfers, but how about your freshman class?
You know, Ryan Rosberg from St. Louis played really well in Europe, and I think he's going to have a great year for us and give us some depth in the post. Stefan Jankovic, young man out of Serbia, he's from Canada. Mm-hmm. I think he'll play some. And Negus Webster-Chin, who didn't make the trip, those three guys all have a chance to contribute.
Let's talk about Lawrence Bowers. He missed all last year, a heartbreaker as he was coming into his last season, looked like at Missouri, and instead he gets the knee injury. How's his rehab? How's he look?
It's going well, Dave. You know, going into last year, depends on who you talk to, he was our best player on our team.
Right.
But he's rehabbed. He's practicing full speed right now. I anticipate him having a great year.
And of course, Flip Pressey, I think he's one of the best guards in the country, not just in the SEC or the Big 12 or wherever you were, but Flip Pressey is just outstanding.
I agree with that. I think he's the straw that stirs the coffee. You know, he's the guy that makes it all happen for us, and just a super player, and he really came into his own last year.
Well, he certainly did. Do you expect some more improvement from him? Because I thought he really took a huge leap forward last season.
Well, you know, Dave, he's such a hard worker. He's in the gym all the time, and he's one of those guys that really evaluates his game, and he wants to become a better shooter and continue. He shot the ball well late in the year. I think that's something he still wants to improve on and add to his game.
Because they're first, of course, football getting all the attention in the move to the SEC. You guys will move to the SEC. What does it look like? What does that landscape look like for the Tigers?
Well, I think it's no different than Big 12. I think it's still good basketball. It's great coaching in this league. 3 out of the last 7 years, national champions come out of the SEC. So we got our work cut out for us, but I think we'll be able to compete.
Talk a little bit about the early season schedule for the Tigers. We're going to take a look at the first few games that you will play this year, and let's run some of these down.
Well, the battle for Atlantis, that trip is going to be incredible. You know, playing we start off with Stanford and maybe have a chance to play Louisville. We're fortunate enough to win. They're fortunate enough to win. But the tournament, you got Duke in it. You got Memphis in it. Minnesota. It's a great field. Obviously, we play Illinois in the bragging rights game, and then we go out to play UCLA.
You picked the wrong year to play on the Bruins at UCLA. They're really going to be good this year.
Well, they renovated their arena, and they got a top 10 type program. And Ben does a great job. They'll be well coached and extremely talented.
Well, certainly you've done a tremendous job here at the University of Missouri. It'll be fun to watch your progress as you move through the SEC.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks a lot. That's Frank Haith. He's the head basketball coach here at the University of Missouri. We expect big things from the Tigers in the coming men's basketball season. Well, halftime here at Missouri, and let's watch the marching band now as it's band day here as well as everything else. Well, you look at the bands here, and now some more bands will be joining them, high schools from all over the state of Missouri. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah. 1 minute, okay.
It's a great fit, academically, athletically, in terms of fan support, in terms of tradition. And one of the things that sometimes we lose sight of the fact, because most folks are interested, are they going to be good enough to play well? But for me, it isn't about this year or next year or the year after that. It's really looking at a much longer horizon.
Yes, it is a new SEC this year with the addition of two teams, Texas A&M and, of course, the University of Missouri. And you heard Commissioner Mike's Live talking about the long run for 30 and 40 years to come. But let's talk about the short run, like this year. The Tigers have a spectacular SEC conference schedule. 4 home games, the first one next week, Georgia. Then on October 6th, it's Vanderbilt. Then October 13th, the defending national champions come in, Alabama. And then after that, homecoming game, October 27th, Kentucky. Road games, South Carolina. Road games at Florida, Tennessee. And then, of course, Texas A&M. But all eyes right now for the Tigers, the coaching staff, the players and fans, they are all pointed to Georgia next week as the Bulldogs come to town, a top 10 ranked team.
There's no question about it that the Georgia game will be historic, okay?
Everybody's been asking me questions about that game for months now.
I'm sure it's gonna be wild. Like honestly, I think Columbia is gonna be shut down for that week. So I'm sure we're gonna see things we've probably never seen before with just fans, the whole fan base, and the whole thing with like the new stadium and everything. It's just kind of get you sit up in your seat, give you the chills a little bit, and get you ready to play right now.
People are excited, you know, and then you can bet this year that Georgia's going to have their seats filled too.
You know, it's going to be huge. It's going to be mammoth for us, and we're excited about it. And our fans are to say they're not excited about it would be an understatement.
You talk about enthusiasm for next week. The athletic department has been told to expect 500 RVs from Georgia fans traveling to Columbia for their first ever SEC game for the Missouri Tigers against the Georgia Bulldogs. And some people in Columbia are even renting their homes out to visiting fans because of a lack of hotels. 28-3 here at the first half. The star in the first half, Kendall Lawrence, a 76-yard touchdown run Tigers lead it at the half, 28-3 over Southeastern Louisiana.
All right. Well, Memorial Stadium got soaked in the second quarter. The rain has stopped now, though, here in Columbia. And the Missouri Tigers lead it 28-3 here at halftime. With Corby Jones and Todd Donahoe, I'm Dave Armstrong. Glad to have you with us here at Faurot Field. Let's check out the highlights in the first half, and it started well for Missouri as T.J. Moe hauls one in from the back of the end zone. Then the defense took over. A good play here by linebacker Xavier Gooden. A pick six. And then, how about this 76-yard run?
Unbelievable. Once he gets the corner, he's out the gate.
So that's Kendall Lawrence with a big run there. And they added another defensive touchdown on a big sack by Coney Ely and a recovery by Michael Sam. He took it into the end zone. And you look at the numbers from the first half.
Honestly, look at the first downs. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that Southeast Louisiana picked it up and was able to move the football in the second quarter. I think Mizzou shut it down a little bit. I don't think the coaching staff wanted to do that just yet. Wouldn't be surprised if we see James Franklin and the whole starting offense come out in the third quarter.
So we'll see. I mean, Franklin played the entire first half. And now let's go down to the field and Todd Donahoe.
Okay, Coach Ron Roberts, your team came out slowly. Down 28-0, but then wow, you played spectacular the final 22 minutes, outscoring them 3-0.
Yeah, I felt like we were back in the hurricane there in the first quarter. It just kept hitting. We had trouble, I think, early. It's maybe the environment, the speed of the game, whatever reasons, we didn't handle ourselves coming out of the first quarter. I think we did a good job of settling down and playing football in the second quarter. And then, right now the biggest thing to us is how good can we play in the second half, and let's get better as we go through this thing. If we want to get in it, then, we got to put some points on the daggone board.
What you looking for in the second half?
Well, I think we're going to get better as we go along. That's what I want to see. I want to see elimination errors. I want to see elimination mistakes. I want to continue to play with great effort. That thing's going to hold us for a long haul. I'd like to get us 14 points on the board here in the third quarter and get us in a dogfight in the fourth.
All right, great. Good luck.
All right, that's Ron Roberts, and optimistic and hopeful. And you look at his quarterback, Nathan Stanley, and he fared pretty well in that first half. You look at Stanley went 14 for 21. He did have that interception, and he passed for 127 yards in the first half.
He looked fine once he got comfortable and got some protection back there. I still wonder if we're going to see Brian Young at all. Stanley looked solid to me. I'm just not sure that he's the guy that's going to lead him to the promised land.
Well, we'll see. For right now, it looks like he's warming up and ready to go here in the second half. Let's check out some other scores from around the SEC. Things that are happening right now and already finals. You saw Georgia earlier today. What did you think of the Bulldogs?
I thought the offense looked solid. Aaron Murray was sharp. They've got a couple great wide receivers. Good tight end, good backfield, they always do. But I like to see that Buffalo put up 23 on them. Yeah. And that game's a lot closer than the score indicates.
Florida, 27-14 win over Bowling Green. Arkansas with a 14-point lead. That's a lot of points that Jacksonville State has scored against the Razorbacks.
That's the truth. I mean, I wonder about some of these teams. Once again, these early season rankings are for the birds as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. Clemson-Auburn, we both thought that was going to be a close game here tonight.
Definitely.
And we also heard that it is Alabama now. Look at that. In the first quarter, leading 21-0 over Michigan.
I really respect Brady Hoke and his decision to sit his running back for disciplinary issues. But I knew once that happened, Denard Robinson cannot beat an Alabama team by himself.
That can't be good for Ole Miss. I know it's a new regime there and all that, but man, 20-14 down in the third quarter to Central Arkansas.
Yeah, that's not what they're.
Central Arkansas is another one of these FCS teams. In fact, in the same Southland Conference as Southeastern Louisiana.
And it's the third quarter. It's not like they shut it down in the first half and they came back out firing. No, these guys they're struggling. They're clawing and biting to get back in this thing.
So I wonder what Gary Pinkel had to say to his troops. I'm sure he said, look, guys, we came out smoking. That was great. That's what we want to see. What happened from that point forward?
Yeah, I wonder what happened in the locker room, actually, because I'm not really concerned, but I'm interested to see how they come out, if they come out in full force. I think the defense has been pretty vanilla, and I think there's a purpose for that, and that's they don't want to show too much to Georgia. But offensively, they didn't do anything different second quarter than they did in the first, but they just didn't execute it.
This field took in a lot of rain in that second quarter. Todd, how did it fare?
Manager Don Barnes, and he said they're making no changes with the cleats. He goes, this field can drain 12 inches of rain, so it's fine. I can tell you with my rubber-soled wingtips, I've got great traction.
Well, hopefully they won't call your number in the second half.
I want to see a 40-yard dash right now.
And just as we said the rain had stopped, it has started again. So it is raining one more time here at Memorial Stadium. Well, it'll be the Lions who get the ball first. And standing back, Jarrett Johnson standing on the goal line awaiting the kick. Trey Barrow will put a foot into it, and the third quarter is underway. This is a short kick. Taken at the 10-yard line. But not even making it to the 25. Big hit on special teams. That was a really good play. Johnson was stuffed by Donovan Bonner. In fact, they're going to say this is a fumble. Look at that right there. Oh, yeah, you could see definitely Johnson lost the handle.
After hearing Coach Ron Roberts, that's not the way they wanted to start this half.
Well, that's the way Pinkel and the Tigers wanted to start the half. A big special teams play by Bonner. Franklin, he's still in the game. And he tosses it out to Eric Waters, who goes out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Franklin, you look at his numbers in the first half, he was 8 for 14 for 79 yards. The longest pass play was 21 yards. And a lot of that came after the catch. There's a pass right down the seam to Moe, who's stretching for the end zone. He lost the handle. But they're going to say the ball is down by the turf, and they're going to mark it down at the 1.
Great design play. TJ Moe just releases uncovered Franklin sees it immediately, right in the seam, little hole in the zone. Great catch, great throw.
Stoddard saved the touchdown there, and you can definitely see he was down. So 1st and goal at the 1. And a timeout taken by the Lions.
I like Missouri's tempo. They look like they've gotten back into it. And they're trying to fire off. They're trying to get to it, trying to get to the line of scrimmage, get the play called, or let Franklin see what's going on with the defense, get the ball, snap, and get rid of it.
You know, I loved Ron Roberts' comments to Todd and his optimism. But look, he gets the deal. He knows the drill. This is a team that's been really bad since resuming football in 2003. They're 37-63 since then. They were 3-8 last year. They've won only 5 games in the last 2 years combined. That's why they brought him in as the new head coach. He's got to rebuild this program and build it in a way to his liking. He was very successful at Delta State, which is a Division II team. In fact, in the 5 years there, they won 4 Gulf South titles.
And he knows what's going on. He knows what's the job ahead of him. What he doesn't like is the mental mistakes and mental errors, these unforced errors. That's what will kill you.
Again, they're 0 for 15 against FBS schools, football bowl subdivision schools. Of course, that's since they came back. They had football until the 80s, and then they put it on hiatus for 18 years, came back in 2003. They've only had 1 winning season since then. There's Moe in motion. Franklin on the keeper. They're trying to move the line into the end zone, and they do. Oh, it's Lawrence. Lawrence took the snap and took it in for his 2nd touchdown of the game.
Kendall Lawrence trying to make like a power back right now.
So a good day for Kendall Lawrence. 9 rushes, 114 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. So here's Baggett with a point after. Looked like he missed it right. That's no good. So Andrew Baggett misses the point after. They can't tack that on. But good play by Moe to get him to the 1. And Lawrence handles it from there. 34-3 Missouri. Well, for Gary Pinkel and company, starts for real next week against the Georgia Bulldogs in the SEC. So let's check out the SEC and the preseason predictions. Starting with the Eastern Division, Georgia is favored to win, and Missouri is picked 4th.
And honestly, the most impressive team that we've seen, I saw some of Florida earlier, saw South Carolina, saw Georgia, saw Vandy, and saw Tennessee. Tennessee looks more impressive than any of these teams. You can't base anything off last year. It's a different crop of guys. It's not like the NFL. You can't return the same guys every single year. And these guys, Tennessee looks solid.
Look how loaded the West is.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
LSU, Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn. I mean, just start with that. A&M's thinking, how did we get in the West?
Yep.
Of course, they're the westernmost team.
Then again, we just saw Ole Miss, so at least they get 1 week off.
There you go. Gary Pinkel knows that next week we'll certainly get this town at a fever pitch, wouldn't you say? Probably all week, not just next Saturday.
I'm sure it will.
It starts tonight after this one.
Yep.
This time it's a pooch kick down the middle of the field, taken by an up back at the 35-yard line, and he brings it up to the 42. And a flag comes in. Tron Weary with the return, and a flag came in late.
After the play was over, personal foul, return team number 51, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
Might be starting to see a little frustration out of Southeast Louisiana right now.
That's Cullen Hubert who had that personal foul. Right there, a little shove in the back.
I'm not sure that was deserving of a 15-yard penalty.
And certainly he's no stranger to these Tigers. He played for Texas Tech. In fact, started 6 games last year for the Red Raiders. And that moves the ball all the way back to the 28-yard line. Going for it all, and this one is way up over the head of the intended receiver, McCray. Good coverage on the play as well. Look at Gaines. There is no opening there.
This play action, Gaines never looked at the quarterback. That's textbook right there. You always guard your man. That's how play action works. His corners and safeties start cheating. Gaines didn't cheat at all. Just played his man.
That's where a quarterback, your eyes get big. You're like, oh, one-on-one coverage on the outside. There's a fumble. And it looks like the Tigers have got it. Another turnover for the Lions, their 4th of the game.
Coach
and
Ron
it's
Roberts
Kip Edwards
pulling his hair out right now.
So this second half is pretty much a carbon copy of the first 8 minutes of the game. Chaney just had it
just poked out.
Andrew Wilson with the hit that poked the ball free, and then Kip Edwards with a nice recovery.
That's what happens when you get physical play. Good things happen.
I think Edwards had designs to pick that ball up on the run and go on into the end zone, and then when he realized he couldn't do that, he wisely fell on the ball.
Smart man.
And a carry here by Murphy. Murphy gets it down to the 25-yard line. Gain of about 5. Franklin with the toss out to Murphy, and he falls down, and that'll be the end of that play. So a loss here of 8 yards back to the 32. So now it's 3rd down and long. Third and 12. Coach Pinkel does not like that. It's like just stalling the offense. Spread formation for the Tigers. Here comes pressure, and Franklin just had to get rid of it. Throws it out into the flat. There was really no Tiger receiver in that vicinity.
Well disguised blitz that time.
Drew Masita came flying in and put the pressure on.
It looked like he came straight up the A gap. That's the middle linebacker, unaccounted for.
Did he get outside the tackle? Because that looked like it could have been grounding.
It looked to me like he was outside the tackle.
Okay. So it's 4th and 12. I think the Tigers are going to go for it here. Franklin, he's got room to run. And he reaches out at the last second. And I don't think he has enough for the first down. Well, he made the effort, but he is ruled out just outside the 20-yard line. Maurice Sutton, and there is a penalty flag as well.
I think he has it without the penalty. I'm going out on the limb now.
Okay. See, I think where they've got the ball spotted, I don't think he has enough.
Great field awareness regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. And Williamson sorting it out.
The run was short of the first down marker. It's a first down for Southeastern Louisiana. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 7, Louisiana. It'll be half the distance to the goal, first down.
So the Lions will get the ball as the Tigers turn it over on downs. After the play was over, they ruled that that was unsportsmanlike conduct on the Lions. They'll get the ball, but that penalty will take them back half the distance to the goal.
So I'm 0 for 2 on the day. That's what we're trying to say. Taunting. College football, you can't do this.
Yep.
And talking to the crowd.
So Sutton makes a play, but then it costs his team as they're backed up to the 10-yard line, but they do have the ball. And there's a play that goes nowhere. Catch is made by Myers, but he had to stretch out for it and no gain. In fact, maybe a loss of a half yard.
Dave, I've never understood, to go back to the last play, last penalty, never understood how you can taunt a team when you're down 34-3. I agree. Doesn't make sense. Looked like Stanley lost his footing there. Two balls to the ground. Actually, would have been better served by deciding to just drop the ball.
Stanley rolling out. Got a receiver wide open in the flat, and again, that's Smiley. Smiley's been one of the most effective receivers today for the Lions.
Smiley's been pretty busy today. Once again, you're seeing success out of this offense when they run action, play action fakes. Anytime run action, the difference run action and play action. Play action goes, you have a fake run and the quarterback drops straight back. Run action fakes are you've got a bootleg tied to it where the quarterback breaks contain and then gets out and tries to throw the ball from out there.
3rd and 1, and the Lions are still bringing personnel out onto the field. Stanley will throw for it, and that will be well shy of the first down marker. Gooden was right there defensively to make the one-on-one stop.
This Missouri defense has just been relentless this evening.
Boy, Gooden is just flying all over the field.
I don't care what they ran there. It was defended.
Yeah.
They tried to run the fake draw, and that didn't work. That wasn't going to work. People standing in the backfield waiting for it.
Tells you something when they know they can't just go for it on 3rd and 1 and just run right up into the middle. They know they really can't get any kind of a surge from their offensive line against that defensive front four of the Tigers. This will take a Lions bounce and eventually be downed at the 26-yard line. So we're going to take a timeout with 10:01 remaining, and the Tigers leading it comfortably 34-3.
We salute today's John Deere honorary field crew member. Each home game this season, a lucky fan wins the chance to help the field crew prepare the field and sidelines for the game. John Deere congratulates today's winners, Mike and Angie Flowers from St. Joseph, Missouri. We encourage you to take a chance at the match. John Deere honorary field crew member. Visit
My guy, Chase.
Todd, you ready for the news?
Well, no, I can't find Tony. I mean, I told him to come down here to do this thing. Now it's getting wet. Here he comes. I'm ready. I'm ready when, here he comes.
And again, the rain pouring down here at Memorial Stadium. I know that it's probably uncomfortable for some of the players and the fans, but I don't think anybody's complaining with all the lack of rain we've had this summer to play in the rain here tonight. 34-3 our score in favor of the Missouri Tigers. And Missouri they're wearing new uniforms this year. Todd, what can you tell us about the new unis?
Well, check them out. Here it is, all new design, and you'll notice they're stressing the word Mizzou over Missouri. That's new branding. This actually is James Franklin's backup jersey, so I better put it back quick because it's starting to get wet in this rain. But you'll notice different lettering, different coloring, a brand new gold as well this year. These are the new uniforms from Nike. They've also got tops in white and in gold, and they've got alternative uniforms as well. So lots to see for Mizzou fans, new uniforms this year. And of course, you've been looking at those new helmets all night long.
Todd, you and I were having a discussion last night. We were talking about the MIZZOU in the end zones now, and everybody thought this was kind of new, but you went back to some photos from several decades ago, and this is not new for Missouri.
Yeah, the color is different. You know, it used to be just green grass and then the numbers. Now, obviously, they have a black background. But last year it said MISSOURI, Missouri. This year, the athletic department is branding the word Mizzou. They find it to be a very good branding, so the stress is on the word Mizzou.
And rightfully so. Well, nice little swing pass out to Lawrence, and he's able to get it up to the 30-yard line.
To number 4, Kendall Lawrence.
A little pressure that time on Franklin. Gets rid of the ball pretty quickly.
Lawrence trying to keep his arms dry.
Starting to rain again. Pretty good too, Alan.
40 on game. Second down and 6. Missouri from their own 30.
Todd's mic is obviously working real well now. And Lawrence takes this one up to the 42-yard line. And Tyler Stoddard able to make the stop there.
Great hole up front. Great cutback lane.
Boy, Lawrence hits those holes quickly too, doesn't he?
Sure does. And he's very shifty.
You know, Gary Pinkel was telling us that acceleration is crucial in the scheme that they run. And they've got a lot of tailbacks that are about this same size. And now we're seeing true freshman Russell Hansbrough.
The ball carrier for Missouri.
That right there looks just like true zone blocking up front. Everybody just blocked down, push to the right, and then back can decide what he wants to do. Does he want to take find a lane going that way, or does he want to cut back lane?
They're exchangeable parts, though, aren't they? They're all about 5'9". They all weigh about 185 to 195 pounds.
I like to refer to that as plug and play.
And there's a toss out to the flat, and that could be intentional grounding. And they do have a flag on the play. Devin Walker, he was wearing Franklin's jersey that Todd was showing you. Yeah, no one in the vicinity.
They brought the house on that play.
Intentional grounding, offense, number 1. The penalty is loss of down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
They want James to be able to recognize that pre-snap and either get them out of the play or get to something else, know he's getting rid of the ball very quickly.
Probably couldn't see him in the rain. So it's 3rd and 17. Clock stopped with 8:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. On the wing, the catch is made. Oh, beautiful adjustment on the route by guess who? Dorial Green-Beckham. Wow. That's
what
talent right there. That's talent.
That's what he brings. And look where he lined up. The wide receiver, the traditional tight end, is actually lined up outside. That's where they're going to want to play him.
Little separation here, then the adjustment on the pass to come back for it, and a foot in bounds. What a play. And on 3rd and 19, they pick up the 1st down, and now it's Hansbrough again, another true freshman. You don't normally see this many true freshmen playing for Gary Pinkel, but again, it's a testimony to the recruiting and how the level of recruiting has gone up a notch.
It is, definitely. I got to go back to that last play. The quarterback never gets enough credit. You always want to credit the wide receiver. That's a design throw behind. it's called if you're even, you're leaving. If the wide receiver's even with the corner, then he's going to run by him. If not, he's going to know that the ball's coming over his back shoulder.
And the reason for that is the receiver can make the adjustment, the defensive back cannot.
Correct.
Yeah. That pass completed to Washington. And we have another flag. This one looks like it's going against Missouri. You see Robert Alford, the preseason All-American, up at the top of your screen, saying that there was a push-off by the Tigers.
Pass interference, offense, number 2, 15 yards in the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
And that was called against LaDamian Washington.
Nothing wrong with that here and there. Like seeing wide receivers get a little more physical.
We have a chance right now to talk about wide receiver coach Andy Hill, who's in his 17th year now. Remember, I told you Pinkel was in his 12th year. Hill is the only holdover from the previous regime, and when Pinkel came in, he said, I really wasn't planning on hiring anyone from the previous regime, but everybody kept telling me, you've got to meet Andy Hill. And he said, took me 5 minutes. He goes, I'm not that bright, but I am good with people, and I understand people. And it took me 5 minutes in a meeting with Andy Hill to realize I got to have this guy on my staff. And what he has done, not only for the receivers, you consider there have been 7 All-Americans at Missouri since 2000. 6 of those are receivers. What he's done with the receivers, but also what he has done on the recruiting trail has been amazing.
I'd say what he's done on the recruiting trail has been more amazing than what he's done with the receivers. Coach Hill was one of my coaches.
Right.
Great friend of mine, and he will be the first one to tell you that once you get him in here, it's their talent that makes them great. But as far as getting them in here, he's done an amazing job.
And that one behind DGB and incomplete. Is he one of the most positive guys you've ever met?
One of them. And he's always motivating. He's always so good in practice.
And again, the blitz is coming. And just getting rid of that. And you look at the fact that they've thrown to him 4 times. He's made 2 catches for 35 yards.
Back deep, number 13, Robert Alford.
And now we have a punt. Trey Barrow. And this one has a little backspin on it. Not the best of punts for Barrow. He's feeling some pressure. And this one is going to be downed at the 28-yard line. Truman is sogged. He is just...
You know that's
cats
gotta be heavy.
Cats don't like the wet.
They don't like rain or water.
Don't like cats do not like the wet weather. But they love the fans. Well, there were a lot of fans that went back to the Cotton Bowl in 2008. That was Missouri's last game they played against an SEC team, and it was in Dallas at the 2008 Cotton Bowl. Tony Temple single-handedly outperformed Arkansas's 3 future NFL running backs. He rushed for a Cotton Bowl record 281 yards and 4 touchdowns. The last one with a pulled hamstring. And that's why at the end of the run, after Truman did all the push-ups, they had to help him to the sidelines. Mizzou won in a romp, 38-7 over the Razorbacks. Pinkel took a bath there, and he's getting wet for a different reason here tonight. And the defense has really forced a lot of miscues by the Lions here tonight. The offense, though, honestly, since the first 8 minutes of the game, it's kind of sputtered just a little bit.
And they can't really get into a rhythm. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, they get the turnovers, and they get the ball deep in the Southeast Louisiana territory, and they score quick, and then you get back. You can't sustain a drive, really. And that's where you get your rhythm. You get your time, you get your rhythm through sustained drives.
Well, we've got a new quarterback coming in now for the Lions. We thought we'd see him tonight. Nathan Stanley is taking a break now. with 6:25 to go in the third quarter. And Brian Young, who started last year for Southeastern Louisiana, he'll get some playing time here. A senior, both of them are seniors. And Brian Young, who threw for over 2,800 yards last year, 14 touchdowns with 15 interceptions. And the give here is to Zeke Jones, and he gets a couple of yards.
Number 34.
Once again, that defensive front four is just all over. I think Brian Young misreads this play a little bit. He's always got the option to keep coming off the edge. You can't see that right edge right there, but again, Missouri's defense crashed. He could have taken that himself.
Tony Ely just stood his ground there, didn't he? Gain of 2. And we'll try it again to Jones. This time he goes over the right side and gets it up to the 35. Tony Ely with another stop. We're going to mark it at the 34. So it's 3rd down and 4 yards to go. Dave Steckel right near the line of scrimmage. He wants the ball back. Pass is incomplete. That's one of those tosses under. If you're even, throw it under. But couldn't make the adjustment more, and that'll be incomplete. So it's 4th down and 4.
Looks like they're staying. Now they're going to find it. Great effort. Great effort there. Honestly, that's a tough throw. It's tough to get the timing on. It's the first game of the season. I was impressed with the way Missouri did it on the previous drive, but they couldn't make the connection.
There's Bo Mott. And back deep to get it, Marcus Murphy. Murphy standing at his own 25. Low kick. Murphy comes up and gets it at the 30. And there goes Murphy, jitterbugging his way to the far side of the field, and he's got room to go. Only the punter to beat, and Murphy goes in for the score. Wow, what a return.
That's impressive.
70-yard return. I had a feeling once he got that ball that he might do something special.
I didn't. He broke about 15 tackles and made about 10 people miss. That was all him. Okay. Great blocking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't tackle that guy in a phone booth. Great run.
Once he gets here, now he's just got the punter to beat. And he gets into the corner of the end zone. So they've got a couple of defensive touchdowns, now one on special teams. And the score is 41-3. Interesting, he wanted to come to the near side here, but kind of ran into his own blocker and then said, well, I'll go the other way.
And just outruns everybody. Here's another kid. 5'9", 185, true sophomore.
Yeah, great return. And with more on Murphy, the kid out of DeSoto, Texas, let's go down to Todd.
Well, with the score now 41-3 with 4:41 to go in the third quarter and on a wet night, guys, I think you have to start wondering, when are we going to see the last of James Franklin, some of these starters playing tonight, and some of the reserve Tigers getting in there. Bottom line is, one, you don't want anybody getting hurt in this game with Georgia coming up next week. And I know Coach Pinkel, in these games against FCS teams, he likes to see as many players as possible to evaluate talent and to see who may be able to contribute later on in the season.
Well, the offense gets to rest a little longer because they just scored a touchdown on special teams. So put the defense back to work again, 41-3. 4:41 to go here in the third quarter. This one definitely out of hand now for the Lions. This ball taken at the 10-yard line by Smiley. Smiley stays on his feet and goes down at the 26. DJ Gaines on special teams.
Todd makes a great point. But at what point do you know when to pull these guys? Because you got to treat it somewhat like a practice now. But you don't want anybody to get injured in practice. But you don't have, your offense hasn't gotten as much work as you want them to get.
Looks like Stanley's coming back in. Only one series for Brian Young, and they're going right back to Nathan Stanley.
My only thought is they just want to give him a rest, let him talk to the coaches, and try to get his feet underneath him.
And you see three receivers lined up to the far side of the field, and they hand the ball off to Chaney, and he is stuffed for a loss. Now there's a flag on the play.
Looked like a face mask.
A total of 14 penalties called in this game.
Looked like Xavier Gooden got a big handful of face masks.
Foul. Face mask. Defense, number 57. 15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
Well, they called it on Madison. I think that was on Gooden, though.
It was Gooden.
Yeah. So they get a first down at the 39 after the penalty. And the clock is moving again, nearing the 4-minute mark, and we're still in the third quarter. Pass is in and out of the hands. Boy, that one probably should have been caught. Rashad Douglas had it in his grasp but couldn't hang on.
Beautiful throw by Nathan Stanley. There's no other place he could put that. Tight window, puts it exactly where he needs to. He knows who's going to be open. Ooh. Got a little alligator arms. Felt a little safety coming over the top.
Well, that safety, Walker, has already busted up one play before. 2nd and 10. Delay a game. And the coaches are telling them, look, hurry up. Tigers showing blitz, and they'll get a sack. The first one in there was Madison. He had some help. Shane Ray was also in there.
Great pressure. This is what gang tackling is all about. Great football. This defense is yet to let up.
Well, we're seeing some second stringers on that defensive line now getting some action with Madison and Ray. 3rd and forever. He wants to call a timeout. Let's call the right play on 3rd and 26.
I hope they got something in the playbook for this.
So this will be a 30-second timeout. Stanley looked over the play and went, I don't think we have one for 3rd and 26. Do we? Let's go down to Todd.
Well, Dave, you were talking about We got some second teamers in there on the defensive line. You mentioned Brad Madison. Let's not forget, Brad Madison was an all-conference player 2 years ago for the Tigers. Last year he had injury problems and spent most of the season out. He's back, he's better, but here's the point. Michael Sam and Coney Ely have been playing so well. So Brad Madison just gives them great depth at the defensive end position. We saw him with a sack there. He knocked down a pass earlier in this game. He's a heck of a player. Pat Ivey, the strength and conditioning coach, told me that he thinks Brad Madison, get this, is the best basketball player on the Tigers football team. They have a tournament every spring, and he says Brad Madison is the best basketball player of the football Tigers.
Has he seen DGB play?
Yeah, you're right. He hasn't seen DGB play yet.
I was going to say, you might want to change that evaluation. I forgot to ask Coach Haith if he was going to try to get DGB to come over and play 2 sports. I don't think Coach Pinkel would allow that.
No, actually, I think he would. I think Coach Pinkel
would. He probably would. He probably would.
But back to Pat Ivey.
Yeah.
I've seen Pat play basketball. I don't know that he can evaluate. I don't think he can evaluate talent. He's not the guy that I want scouting.
Okay. So you don't want him being the recruiting coordinator for basketball?
Right, that's not the guy.
Okay. Corby's telling you, Todd, to check your sources, I guess. Short punt. Here comes Murphy again on the fly. And he takes it down to the 38-yard line. Boy, it looked like he was off to the races one more time. Well, we were talking about DGB playing basketball, and let's take you back. His sophomore year, Hillcrest Hornets made it to the Class 5 Boys Basketball Championships. They took on the Oakville Tigers. The game was close for 3 quarters, and then DGB helped the Hornets outscore the Tigers 25-16 in the 4th quarter, and Hillcrest won it. They won the state title 54-49, and DGB, by the way, second on his team in scoring that night with 21 points. Now we've got the new quarterback, Burke Stresser, and he runs the first time he touches the ball, and he takes it down to the 27-yard line. Corbin Bergstresser, redshirt freshman out of Lee's Summit. So we've seen most likely the last of James Franklin tonight, who goes 13 for 21 for 131 yards, 1 touchdown. As far as rushing is concerned, Franklin only ran the ball 6 times for 39 yards. And there is the aforementioned DGB. He grabs the ball and loses a little bit of ground back to the 30.
Didn't have a whole lot of room there.
Nope.
Bergstresser, nice completion though. So when you get a first-time quarterback, first-time player, as soon as you enter the game, you want to get him his confidence. You want to throw some short passes, some easy completions for him.
So a loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Bergstresser. That is a bullet down to the 14-yard line. Did you see Murphy pick up the guy coming in on the blitz?
That's great blitz pickup. I was just getting ready to mention that. When you get that, and Bergstresser wasn't even scared. He knew the blitz was supposed to be picked up. He had perfect confidence in Murphy. Great throw, great catch, great blitz pickup.
I mean, Murphy was on the other side of the quarterback. Watch him dash over and pick up the blitz. Washington makes the catch inside the 15. There's a pass again to DGB, and he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Excuse me, that's not DGB, that's Marcus Lucas. They look a little bit alike, 85 or 15, and they're both about the same height.
Same height, same size.
Yep.
Bergstresser, front side's got his eyes downfield, never worries about him because he knows he's got his man, Murphy, to come pick up that blitz. Beautiful play.
And Anthony Gotti now playing at left tackle, the sophomore. Right down the seam, touchdown! Jimmy Hunt, his first touchdown as a Tiger.
I might be a little biased, but I'm going to go back and focus on the quarterback again. Not bad for the redshirt freshman. first 5 passes completions. Is that correct?
Yep, he's 4 for 4.
4 for 4 with a touchdown. Not exactly how I started out my collegiate career, but hey, who's counting?
Attempting the extra point, number 99, Andrew Baggett.
You ended your career pretty well, my friend. You ended your career very well. And now for the point after. Remember, Baggett missed one earlier. He'd like to atone for that, and he does. Boy, Corbin Bergstresser comes right in and fires some bullets.
Looks like he's done it before.
So Bergstresser here to Jimmy Hunt, and that's just pitch and catch.
Get the ball out quick, recognition before the play. Believe in your pre-snap read is what it's all about.
Corbin Bergstresser, 6'3", 230 pounds.
Yeah, he's not a small kid.
Look at that. Now, this is an interesting graphic. 4 touchdowns for the offense, 2 for the defense, and 1 for special teams.
That's a good day.
That's a great day.
If you can post that somewhere and without anyone seeing the game, say who won that game. Whoever did that won that game.
Yeah, that's right. Scored every way imaginable. And it looks like Baggett now will be kicking off. Barrow had been kicking off, but they're going to let Baggett do this now.
I'm not sure the place kicking job has been won.
I would agree. I think it's still in a state of flux. And really, all Coach Pinkel wants is consistency.
Exactly.
And that's what he's looking for, is just be consistent out there. I don't have to worry about you. High end over end kick. It's going to come down at the 8-yard line. And taking a knee at the 8 was Alford.
It's not the pros.
Nope. So they spot it right where he caught it at the 9. Boy, I really enjoyed talking to Dave Steckel, and it was just, just cool to visit with him. And he was all the coaches this week were so generous with their time and talking to us and relaying their thoughts on the coming season, on the SEC, on this game in particular. And you could tell he's got a great level of excitement for his defense this year.
Oh, he loves those guys.
And the keeper, they run a little option play. And Zeke Jones able to run it up to the 14-yard line, a gain of 5. And that'll be the last play of the third quarter. Third quarter comes to a close, and this quarter, all Tigers. That's why Coach Pinkel is clapping, because the Tigers dominated the third quarter, and they stretched the lead to 48-3. Well, his night is done, but boy, what a night he's had, and what a night the Tigers have had here in their debut. 48-3 our score, and James Franklin, break down his play, Corby.
He looked awful sharp to me. I like to see the way they made instant decisions, getting rid of the ball. If he's going to run it, he's going to run it. tuck it and go. I like the fact that he wasn't scared. That shoulder was a question mark. Not only throwing, but actually running, and whether or not you want to take a hit on that. He showed no fear. He's very decisive. I think he had a great night.
So we get ready for the fourth quarter to begin, and joining us now is the athletic director, Mike Alden, for the University of Missouri. And Mike, it's always a pleasure to visit with you, and congratulations, by the way, and well-deserved the extension of your contract through 2019.
Well, David, I appreciate that very much, and glad that I was able to be on with you and Corby, and it's good to spend a little time with you, and I appreciate your comments. I think that certainly the contract extension is well received, and I believe it's an indication we got great staff, we got great student athletes doing the right things, and gives us an opportunity to keep doing what we're doing, keep building
Mike,
on it.
We've talked to the coaches about the transition to the SEC. What's it been like for you and your staff in the athletic department?
It's been a constant effort, almost on a daily basis. We've been working on this ever since November the 6th of 2011. It's been a daily effort, and it's not only the transition on getting ready for a game or whatever that may be, but I think that the differences in the SEC from operational standpoint, certainly with the facilities that we're going to be building and different things like that, there's just been a number of things we've been addressing on a daily basis.
So, with everything that's going on around here, how exciting is it? How exciting is it in the athletic department?
It's pretty exciting, Corby. And you've been in and around this. We've been together a long time. You were playing here when I first came to Mizzou, and I think just to be able to see the growth and the building of what's taking place, the enthusiasm from the fans, the number of Olympic sports that are doing so well for us right now, and everything. So, in addition to football and men's basketball doing so well, we have a number of the Olympic sports. It's just really exciting as we head into this year.
It's palpable. You can feel the excitement in this town and in this state. I mean, the Tiger fans have really embraced this move to the SEC.
They have. I think initially when that first was announced, there were some people, Dave, that kind of came back and they said, wait a minute for a second. Let's talk about all these traditions and all the history that we have at Mizzou. And we do have that, and we are going to miss that. But I think that once people recognize the league that we were going into, the opportunities that it created for us as an institution and the competition, I think they became really, really excited. And so it's just been really elevated as far as that enthusiasm.
Earlier we had Coach Pinkel on, and he was saying that I told everyone that if we're going to make this move, I don't want to just move to the SEC. I want to be competitive in the SEC. And you guys have backed that up with the $200 million fund that has been created to have a lot of improvements, not only here at this stadium, but other facilities around the University of Missouri for the athletic department. And that says a lot about the donors. It says a lot about the way this whole university is moving forward.
I do, David, think that's true. Is that I know that when we were discussing all of this, and Coach was so right that why would you make a move like this if you're not gonna commit, if you're not gonna invest?
Right.
Because what we've been doing has only gotten us to where we are today. But if you're going to step into the SEC, you got to do even more than that. And so that investment, certainly the donation from the Kansas City Sports Trust of $30 million, second largest gift ever given in the history of the school, has been phenomenal. But you take that gift and you go and meet with your board of curators, with your chancellor Brady Deaton, who's doing a great job, President Tim Wolf, and the board, and they unanimously say no. Let's do it at this level. We want to be able to commit $200 million worth of work. I mean, that's something to be said, that you have support from the very highest levels of leadership towards what we're trying to do in the SEC.
What do you think of the team so far tonight? They look pretty good, huh?
I think they do. Actually, I've had a chance to watch a little bit. I've been in and around and different things I've been doing on the field and the like. But I like how hard we're playing right now. I think that certainly we had a couple of kids that were banged up as we were coming to this, especially the offensive line. I was interested to see how James Franklin was going to be doing, and I was listening to Corby's comments on that. And it's great to be able to see he's really playing with a lot of confidence right now, coming off of that injury. So I've been really pleased with the way we're playing, and we need to keep it going.
One of the things you did was we saw you at halftime with Jeremy Macklin. I just think that is the coolest thing for him to come back and endow a scholarship in his name. I just think that says a lot about him personally, and it says a lot about what he wants to give back to his alma mater.
I think it does, and certainly I think Jeremy is an example of so many of our student athletes that have done so many great things, and they continue to contribute to Mizzou in lots of different ways.
Yeah.
Corby's one of those guys. There's a lot of guys that are in and around here that do those types of things for our program. But with Jeremy, here's a young man that came to Mizzou, could have gone anywhere, of course, and he came to Mizzou, was really successful, he's doing great in Philadelphia, and he said, I want to come back and I want to endow a scholarship. And so I think it says something about him. It says something about his love of the University of Missouri and his commitment to kind of continue to help us grow.
Mike, with everything that's going on, I'm going to ask a question that all the fans want to know.
Okay.
When do you expect the luxury suites to be done on the east side?
All right. So we're going to renovate this whole building that we're in right now for the 2013 season. And then during that, after this season is over with, Corby, we'll start building the structure on the opposite side, the east side, which is that superstructure. We know it will be completed for the 2015 season. We know it. But we hope that we can be able to push that schedule up a little bit, and maybe we can get that done for the 2014 season, which would be amazing. That structure is going to be awesome. It's almost twice as large as what the current east side structure is. It's 2.5 times the size of this structure that we're in right now, and it will be just outstanding. Hopefully 2014, for sure it'll be done by 2015.
So when's the M move in, and when do the stands on the south side increase?
So you'll see the M move in actually for next year. So what we're going to do is we're going to excavate the M. We're going to save all the rocks down there, because all of those rocks, many of those are the original rocks from back in the 1920s. We'll store all of those, and we'll bring the hill closer, and that'll all be done for next season. Increase the size of the concourse, and then this press facility will be redone. Then the next year, we hope the entire east side will be done, and then in the next somewhere between 5 to 7 years, then you want to go ahead and be able to bowl in the end. You're going to go from 71,000 to about 76,000 with this structure, and then you'll go to about 83,000, 81 to 83,000 once you bowl in the one end.
Well, there's a lot of excitement, obviously, after this game. Georgia coming in next week, and man, I said it's not going to be just Saturday people are going to get excited. I think it starts after this game is over.
I think it does, David.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, we had a little over 62,000 and some change for today. And we had thought we were going to get a crowd somewhere between maybe 61, 62, 65. But next week, we know it's 71,004. The following week against Arizona State is going to be 71,000. The Vanderbilt game's going to be 71,000. The Alabama game's going to be 71,000. So I think that you're going to see that really building as we get into next week.
You maxed out on season tickets.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I know, for the first time in our history, and so we've sold out all the season tickets. We know it's going to be a great crowd for next week, but you're right. As soon as this game is over, there's no question everybody's going to turn their attention to Georgia.
I'm not sure you've gotten enough credit through the years for not just how you've improved in football and men's basketball, but all sports. I mean, you guys always win that all-around trophy almost every year, and I think that's a testament to you and your staff of concentrating not just on the two major sports that everybody looks at, but all the sports that you guys play.
Well, you know, I appreciate you saying that, and I was talking about that a little bit earlier, Dave. You know, folks have a tendency to take a look really at football and men's basketball.
That's right.
We understand that, because those sports are generating 98% of your revenue. But we want to make sure that we're a broad-based program. And so now you got a softball team that's been to 3 out of the last 4 College World Series. You know, it's a top 5 program in the country. Wrestling program in the top 10. Soccer program's 10th in the country right now. Swimming and diving's in the top 20. Gymnastics is in the top 15. Volleyball's in the top 25. Those kind of things make us feel so good to know that we're having an opportunity across the board for all of our sports to be
And oh, by the way, Bergstresser just goes in for another touchdown for the Tigers, and they're going to be over 50 points in this game.
How about that?
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to be able to come out here and get a lot of guys a lot of playing time, right? I would think that's a good thing for us. I'm looking at Corby here right now, but really I would think it's important we play a lot of guys today, give them a lot of time under their belt, stay healthy, and then get some confidence, and then hopefully get that win so that we can move on to Georgia.
Exactly. I think you got the win.
I think we're safe.
I'm going to go ahead.
I know.
I'm going to go ahead and put it in the bank for you.
I understand.
Well, it was terrific talking to you again, and again, congratulations on your extension. You've got this entire department going in the right direction, and it just looks like a bright future.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Dave, and I'm so glad that you and Corby are here. We got Todd, I know, down on the sidelines and everything, and just appreciate you guys being part of what we're doing. It's great to be able to have it televised today, and we'll see, get a win today, and then see what happens next week.
Definitely.
Yeah, should be fun.
Thanks, Corby.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
All right. So Mike Alden joining us here. Thanks so much again, Mike, for joining us. And Bergstresser's done well. A passing touchdown and a rushing one as well.
Mizzou Athletics would like to thank the following concessions partners. Farmland Food, the official hot dog of Mizzou Athletics. Swiss meat and sausage. Ice cream, official ice cream of Mizzou Athletics. Visit the concession stands to enjoy Farmland Foods, Swiss meat and sausage.
55-3. Let's show you a couple of plays from that last drive. While we were visiting with Mike Alden, all this was going on down on the field. A good pass play here from Bergstresser, as this one goes all the way down inside the 10, and then Bergstresser just did the rest himself. Jimmy Hunt has become one of his favorite targets.
Bergstresser is a load.
Yeah,
you mentioned it. 6'3", 230.
Yeah.
That's look at that. Look at those numbers. 5 for 5, 60 yards, 1 TD. He wants to just go home and never play again. I mean, I wouldn't want to play.
First 2 drives as a Tiger.
Yeah.
And how do you get better?
Exactly.
They always tell you can always get better. I don't know how you get better from that.
Yeah, you can't really improve on that.
Man, that's pretty good. Well, 11:38 left to go in this, and I love how Mike Alden is still sweating it out. Well, if we get a win in this one, you know. I think you got that one wrapped up. 55-3. What did I predict the score before the game?
You said 50-something.
I think I said 57-3.
Was that it?
I think I did. It was something in that area.
I'm not betting against you. I'm 0 for 2 on the day.
Well, something happened after the touchdown. They backed him up. And so they're going to be kicking from the 20. Taken at the 20. This is Alford. And he is brought down at the 44-yard line. Well, the Lions, they came in knowing this was going to be an uphill battle here today, and certainly their preparation was stalled by Hurricane Isaac. And you see Nathan Stanley is back in at quarterback now for Southeastern Louisiana. This is all part of the learning process. I think what you want if you're Southeastern Louisiana, because Mike Alden was outlining what Missouri was wanting tonight, and I think they've accomplished every goal they could have accomplished in tonight's game. I think for Southeastern Louisiana, what you want to say is, look, we're going to go against competition that's more to our liking. We're not going to be overwhelmed. We're not going to be at a big size disadvantage, a speed disadvantage the rest of the year. We've just got to stay fundamentally strong, and those are the things that Ron Roberts will be working on between now and the next few games.
That's the biggest issue. Ron Roberts is going to be very frustrated, not with the effort of his team, but with the mistakes, the mental mistakes that have been made.
Right. You know, the turnovers, things that you can control.
Offsides penalties, personal fouls.
Right.
Can't do it.
Well, this is an impressive score. I know that Southeastern Louisiana came in, and look, they're an FCS team, and they're not a good one, quite frankly. And they will be, I think, with Ron Roberts. I think he's the right hire. I think he's the right guy for the job. But they're not good right now. And they were bad last year in the FCS, and they'll probably be mediocre again this year until he gets his personnel, his system in place. But having said that, this is still an impressive outing for Missouri.
Definitely. You know, anytime you can have a touchdown, at least one, from every aspect of your game, I mean, you can't argue with that.
That's right. Third down and 10. And down goes Stanley. Another sack for the Tigers, and this time it's Jimmy Burge.
Now we're seeing, again, a lot of reserves, a lot of people that aren't starters, that aren't going to play a whole heck of a lot in most games. It's great to see these kids get some action and just see how it feels to get out there.
So another punt for Bo Mott. Marcus Murphy again returning punts. He returned one for a touchdown. Ooh, that was close to a block. And Murphy looked like a fair catch. Nope, going to take off. And there he goes again. Again, just the punter to beat. And that was easy. His second return for a touchdown. Wow! Marcus Murphy.
Didn't you say something about scoring 50?
How about I underestimated it. Sorry. That little hesitation at the start, and then once he got in the open field, look at that. Just one little quick move and goodbye. 72 yards. The other one was 70, wasn't it?
He looked at the punter and thought about making a move. He said, no need.
62-3, and it could be 63-3. They missed an extra point.
Correct.
That'd just be rubbing it in. All right, let's look at Murphy again. Look at that. He just kind of sits down, little hesitation, and then off to the races.
Join us every Monday night at 7 for Tiger Talk with Gary Pinkel.
Unbelievable. Pure speed. Speed kills.
Well, we've talked a lot tonight about the Tigers moving to the SEC. We asked Coach Pinkel if that changes their approach.
Not going to change what we do. We're not going to all of a sudden change our goals. Our goal, top of our pyramid is the national championship, and then it's an SEC championship, divisional championship, and then it's the SEC championship, and then go to a bowl and win a bowl game. So, you want to hit one of those every year, without question. And we're not going to change our goals and what we do. We're going for it, and we'll see what happens.
Well, the thing, too, they're not changing is their spread offense, which is unusual in the SEC. Does that give the Tigers a bit of an advantage because other teams don't practice against it or see it very often?
I think it gives them a bit of an advantage. People are concerned with the physicality and with the speed of the defenses being an issue against the spread. But, you look, historically speaking, nothing's been that successful. But no one's had our type of athletes except Urban Meyer at Florida, and he did pretty well with them.
Yes, he did. National championships. We'll see, though. You've got to have, it really comes back down to talent.
Without a doubt.
Because you're going to get good coaching across the board in the SEC. You're not going to go in there and say, well, this guy's not a good coach. They're all good coaches. If you're coaching in the SEC, you're a good coach.
I've said it a million times.
It's going to come back to talent.
I've said it a million times. It's never X's and O's. It's Jimmy's and Joe's.
That's right. Todd Donahoe, has been down on our sideline all night, withstanding the elements and all of that. And now, Todd, another report for us on Evan Boehm.
Well, by the way, I have two words to say about this game: long and wet. Okay.
Yes.
But Evan Boehm, of course, is a true freshman playing the offensive line, and Corby will tell you that's almost unheard of, and it basically is. But he looks to be some kind of a man-child almost. He's 19 years old, but he looks a lot older. He seems a lot more mature. He has the physical tools, but still to have the technique and to be able to adjust to college level from high school level in his first year really is phenomenal, and it certainly speaks to the depth of the offensive line for the Tigers because they need it. Because we talked about the injuries at the outset of the broadcast.
Yeah, Travis Roth was going to be a starter. He might be able to come back by November. He's out with a tricep injury. Jack Minus, they're hoping to get him back from a left knee injury next week against Georgia. Mark Hill, he will not play football again with a blood clot. And Taylor Chappell, he is out for the season with a knee injury. So they went from really 10, 11, 12 deep to they just don't have any depth anymore. But that doesn't mean that Evan Boehm wouldn't be playing anyway. He's that talented.
The book on him is he might have been starting regardless. He's a coach's kid. His dad was his high school coach at Lee Summit West. So his football acumen is so high that he's coming in as more like a sophomore or junior.
Yep. His dad, Royce, they were state champ in wrestling. And, he came in, he was, they said we really haven't had to teach him too much because he's really been well-schooled. By the way, getting back to the punt returns by Murphy, he has broken a record tonight. Murphy has broken a single game record with 5 returns for 180 yards with his 2 touchdowns. The old record was set way back in 1967 by Roger Worley against Iowa State.
Wow. If you broke one of Roger Worley's records, that's one of the best ever to step out here on the field anywhere, particularly at Missouri. That's impressive.
Number 34, Zeke Jones, the ball carrier.
Zeke Jones dives into the pile, gets 1 or 2. Clock is moving, and that's good news. It's under 9 minutes to go. Well, it's 62-3. I mean, at this point, the game has long been decided. It's good to see some kids that aren't going to get a lot of playing time get some playing time right now. And for the Lions, I'm sure they just want to get back on a plane somewhere and go somewhere where it's not raining.
Yeah, that's without a doubt. I think, has the rain let up completely now, or is it still coming down a little bit?
I don't know, Todd, is it raining down there at all? It doesn't look like it from up here.
No, it's let up now, so it's not raining right now. But, you're talking about Marcus Murphy there. Just think about it. Marcus Murphy can say, gee, I broke a record of a guy who I could go visit his bust in the Canton Hall of Fame there. I mean, he's in the Football Hall of Fame in Canton, and Marcus Murphy breaks his record today. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, it is, Todd. You're right.
First down and 10 Lions from their own 36.
So the Lions have the ball at their own 36-yard line and a first down, and the clock nearing 8 minutes. And a nice broken tackle here by Zeke Jones, and Jones takes it across midfield to the 48-yard line.
I expected to see a little more Zeke Jones. He's a little more their physical back.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 6 foot, 225, 230 pounder with not as much elusiveness, but he's more of a power runner.
Nice open field tackle there by Matt White. Matt will, for most of the year, back up Braylon Webb, who was able to go tonight. So was Kip Edwards. Those two guys were banged up in fall camp, but they were both able to go here tonight, and that's good news for the Tigers. And this time it's Michael Chaney. Interesting to see this field here, Memorial Stadium and Faurot Field with the big SEC logos on the field, and
I can't get used to the helmets.
The helmet.
The helmets without the M on the helmet. I just can't get used to it yet.
Good open field tackle one more time by Ian Simon.
That's the kind of thing you're going to need. Because Simon's going to see some action. He face dime later on the season, some nickel packages. I'm sure he's going to get in there, and he's fighting for a spot. He's fighting for a job. These guys are still out there playing because they got to watch film. They got to hear the coaches yell at them too.
Well, next week it's Georgia, 6:45 game time. Only previous meeting with the Georgia Bulldogs was in 1960 in the Orange Bowl. Georgia won that one 14-0.
That was a while back.
Yeah. Stanley Moore caught that one. Well, it's 4th and 9 now, so they're going to punt the ball. Well, let's see. We've got Arizona State after Georgia, then at South Carolina, at Central Florida, Vanderbilt, Alabama coming here, October the 13th. That'll be fun, huh?
That's the thing about going to the SEC. The novelty of these new teams coming in is going to be so exciting.
That's a good punt. And it goes into the end zone. The Tigers will get it at their own 20 when we return. No chance for Murphy this time because he was on the bench and the ball went into the end zone. We'll be back.
Defense, number 56, 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
It was offsides against Missouri, and so instead of punting the ball, the Lions will go for it here, and they actually convert on 4th down and get the ball to the 35-yard line. The pass is caught there by Stanley Moore.
I guess 4th and 5 is a little more manageable than 4th and 10.
Yeah. So here was the offside penalty, and then they took the penalty and converted for 1st down. Pass out onto the flat to Fruget. Love to say that name, Marquise Fruget. And Kentrell Brothers brings him down, and there's another flag.
Looks like we've got a holding penalty down here on the wide out, but I'm not positive.
18 penalties in the game.
That's a lot.
Holding, offense, number 18. Penalty is 10 yards. The spot of the foul. Repeat 1st down.
Here it is, down at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, that's a legitimate hold.
You can't really do that.
He got his money's worth there.
After the penalty.
So they back it all the way up to the 43-yard line. They need to reach the 25 for a 1st down. So it's 1st and 18.
At the Missouri 43.
And they hand the ball off to Smiley. Tries to turn the corner and gets a few. Gets it down to the 37-yard line. He's tripped up there by Smith. Xavier Smith making the stop on the corner. Well, he got 6 of it back. 2nd and 12.
6-yard gain. 2nd down and 12 at the Missouri 37.
You gonna rent a boat when the Tigers go to Tennessee?
Rent a boat?
Yeah, I mean they'll bring their boats in and dock them there and then walk on into the stadium.
No, I don't think so.
Come on, you go big time.
A little above my pay grade.
A little trickery. That gets a yard.
Nicely designed reverse, but Tigers are just too disciplined. Just staying home.
In on the tackle, number 12, Darvin Ruiz.
Darvin Ruiz, a sophomore out of Florida, with the stop there. 3rd down and 10. A lot of the fans have cleared out here from Memorial Stadium. They came here expecting a lot, and they saw a lot. And now they'll focus their attention on the Bulldogs. Well, that's a nice run. Good play there by Chaney. That's probably his best run of the night.
Number 26, Chaney.
Saw a little explosion there for the first time. It's the first time he's gotten into open field, I think.
Chaney had rushed 12 times for 21 yards prior to that run.
Wow. That's great defense.
That's less than 2 yards per carry. And on that one alone, he picked up 13. Down to the 20-yard line.
26, Michael Chaney, the ball carrier. Tackled on the play by number 12, Darvin Ruiz. 1-yard gain. 2nd down and 9. SLU, Missouri 21.
Toss into the end zone, and that is a touchdown for the Lions. Their first touchdown of the game. And it's Smiley again, who's become a favorite target.
Southeastern Louisiana.
Good throw by Stanley there.
21-yard touchdown pass to Jeff Smiley.
A little mix-up on the coverage there as Simon just let him go and expecting some
safety help.
Sometimes
safeties get caught looking in the backfield.
And the point after is good by Sebastian.
Point by number 41, Sebastian is good. Missouri 62, Southeastern Louisiana 10.
The briefcase farthest back.
Tiger fans, be sure to mark your calendars for these upcoming Mizzou athletic events. Soccer hosts Tennessee.
Well, TJ Moe has been a big part of the story here tonight and for the last several years for the Tigers. He scored the first touchdown of the night for Mizzou, and he talks about Missouri being ready for the SEC.
We think we're going to come out and win every game, just like every other team does in the Big 12 SEC, doesn't matter what conference. I don't think any team's ever gone into a game thinking they're going to get smashed and then actually won.
So when you look at expansion history in the SEC, the first games as an SEC school, Arkansas lost to the Citadel, and they finished the season 3-4-1 in the SEC. By the way, Arkansas fired their coach after that. South Carolina lost to number 14 Georgia. They finished the year 3-5 in the SEC. So I think, I'll say this, I think there have been a lot of naysayers who think, oh, well, now you're coming to the SEC, Missouri. It's not like they've been in a horrible conference.
Correct.
They've been in there with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. And, I mean, they've had some stiff competition, Kansas State. Obviously, the SEC is the class of college football. I get that. But I don't think these Tigers are going to be overwhelmed by the competition.
They're not. I mean, they've played with the best. They played against the best. The difference is playing against it week in and week out. I mean, you basically get 1 week off. With this year, it looks like, but we don't have Ole Miss. So in the conference, that's kind of the bottom is what it's looking like at this point. But a lot of people say last year, if Oklahoma State had gotten into that game, gotten into the national championship game, then we might have a different national champion.
For whatever reason, Gary Pinkel, even though his team has won 48 times in the last 5 years, which is 9th best in the country, for some reason they're being painted as an underdog. And let's listen to what E.J. Gaines says about that.
It's always a good thing to kind of have a chip on your shoulder. We're kind of getting overlooked right now, which is really okay coming into a new conference. You kind of got to expect that. So the competition is going to be crazy, which is what Missouri's all about. So competing is definitely something that Coach Pinkel preaches to us.
And that's E.J. Gaines. He says, oh, we don't mind. And guess what? It's raining again. that storm literally is just circling. And it comes back in for another cycle. It's just all there to really mess up Todd Donahoe's hairdo today. That's the only reason. Another return. Another return. Wow. Boy, the Tigers have been unbelievable on special teams in this game. And Russell Hansbrough, talented true freshman.
58-yard kick return.
That's a 58-yard return.
Again, Hansbrough, 5'9", 185. These guys are all quick and shifty little backs.
Well, there's some depth at tailback, huh?
Definitely.
You have starting, you have Lawrence, then you have Murphy, who's run back 2 punts tonight for touchdowns. Then you have Hansbrough, a true freshman. Holy moly.
There's some speed out there.
Look like a fumble. Nope, got it back. And we're nearing the 2-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. A dominant performance by the Tigers from the very get-go in this game. They led 28-0 with still more than 7 minutes to go in the first quarter and really haven't looked back. And how about this for a number? 236 total return yards on both punts and kickoffs today.
That's almost a
That's
total
be a
offensive
record,
production.
Right? That's got to be a record. I don't know if they keep track of such things, but
keep track of everything.
That's true. Not much room to run here.
Number 35,
Tyler Hunt, a redshirt freshman. He comes into the game.
1 yard gain. 3rd down and 7, Missouri. At the Lions 35.
All those 3rd and 7, I don't see the ball getting put in the air here, do you?
No. Nope, just run another play here and hopefully pick up the 1st down and then just down the ball and get out of the rain. Get ready for Georgia. And pitch back, and that'll be close to the 1st down. I'm not sure he got it.
Number 24, Greg White, the ball carrier.
That was Greg White. Just short of the 1st down. Close enough to go for it, though. 4th down, and if you get it, then you can just run out the clock. So what are your keys next Saturday night against Georgia?
Again, they got to start fast, and they can't take a quarter off. After what I saw against Georgia or what I saw from Georgia this week, that offense is pretty high-powered. Aaron Murray's a very good player at quarterback. They've got some solid receivers, but that defense looked suspect. I mean, there's several times that I saw some holes. I saw some missed assignments. So I think they're beatable.
Well, Gary Pinkel has yet another notch in the win column. He goes to 86 wins at Missouri, 159 overall in his career. And 5-game winning streak going back to last year.
That's a great record. He's done an amazing job here.
You look at active win streaks, and they are just behind Baylor for the most consecutive wins. These are active going into the year. What a great night for Murphy. 2 returns. In fact, a record-setting night for Murphy on the punt returns. And a record-setting night overall for the Tigers as they score 62 points in this one. Franklin, again, able to shake some rust off. That torn labrum looked fine. He looks ready to go for Georgia next week. Let's go down to Todd.
Okay, Coach Gary Pinkel, 5 offensive touchdowns, 2 defensive touchdowns, 2 special teams touchdowns for the Tigers tonight.
Well, there were some good things. I thought our defense really played well most of the evening, and offensively we were just real erratic, and it's kind of disappointing there. But, next week things get ratcheted up a real high level, and we got to get better. We got to fix things. We have to fix things fast.
Marcus Murphy puts his name in the record book with the 2 punt returns and also breaks the Roger Worley single game record as well. A great night for Marcus Murphy.
Well, we call that the Rangers team, the punt return team too, and obviously had some blocking too for him, and it's nice to see that execution. And again, we'll take, like we do every game, we're going to take the good things we did, and we'll take the things that we need to improve on. But I got to tell you, the things we got to improve on, I got to do it fast.
You played a lot of players in the second half, and maybe most importantly, you found out you got a backup quarterback.
Yeah, well, I knew that beforehand. I think also that was really good. The only way you get experience, you got to play. I mean, you got to get out and get dirty. You're going to do some good things, bad things, and for the most part, I thought we really we got to play a lot of guys and some good valuable time, and I think that's going to pay dividends as we go.
All right, go get dry. Congratulations. Yeah, I'll get dry. You bet. Gary Pinkel, 62-10 Missouri wins over Southeastern Louisiana. Hey, you want to get Marcus Murphy right here, the record breaker?
Sure, why not?
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Marcus, you put your name in the record book. 2 punt returns in the same game. Never happened before.
I mean, I just come out, I try to contribute to the team any way I can. We came out, we just tried to, show that the SEC is here, and Mizzou is here, so we're just trying to put on.
Now, you also broke the single-game punt return record of Roger Worley. Now, do you know who Roger Worley is?
I don't, but I'm sure he was a good guy.
Okay, well, Roger Worley's name is on the outside here, number 23. He's had his number retired, and you can go visit the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, and he has a bust there because he's in that Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's cool, and I'm just honored to come out and, break the records that I can, and just contribute to Mizzou any way that I can. So I'm happy for the guys, we just come out and we're ready for next week.
Well, I know you sat out last season with an injury. It must be awful gratifying to come back and do so well in your first game this year.
Yes, it is. I just come out and try to gain a lot of confidence, within myself and from my teammates and from my coaches. So I just do whatever I can, just to do whatever I can, give it all.
Congratulations. Go get with your teammates, okay? Go get dry. Marcus Murphy, a record-setting night here tonight at Furrow Field. Dave?
Thanks a lot, Todd. Your comments, we'll get them when we come back from the break. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what Coach Pinkel said about his assessment of tonight's game. We'll hear your comments on that, Corby, when we come back. 62-10 Missouri. Do what? Okay. I might just sit here for a second with it raining like this. Well, back here at Memorial Stadium in Columbia, Missouri wins it going away 62-10, the final score. Gary Pinkel, though, he was impressed with some things, but they also got the sense, Corby, that he has some things he wants to button up before next Saturday.
I know he didn't like the lull in the second quarter from the offense. It's not what they're looking for. They're going to come out and fire off the ball, play hard, play strong, and beat up on basically an inferior opponent. And they started off strong, but then they had that long lull in that second quarter, and that was difficult. And Coach Pinkel told us on his conference call, what they do is they watch, as soon as they knew they're coming to the SEC, they watch film on every one of these teams.
Mhm.
He knows what he's got coming in next week. He knows what they need to do to be able to beat a Georgia team.
Yeah, he needs to bring his team back down to earth and realize the level of competition ramps up big time next Saturday.
Huge.
Yep.
And as I said, we watched a little bit of Georgia today, and those guys are talented.
All right, Kendall Lawrence had a big night, 10 carries for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could see the speed, see the burst. Everybody was worried about whether or not losing Henry Josie was going to be that impactful. And I can assure you, and if anyone watched this game, you realize that Kendall Lawrence can carry the load if he has to.
So Kendall Lawrence again with a big night, and you look at the Tigers, only 2 more first downs than Southeastern Louisiana, but look at the total yards, 452 to 223, and the 4 turnovers really did the Lions in this game. And, boy, the Tigers had good special teams play. They had great defense for the most part. Their offense took some time off there in that second quarter, as you mentioned, and didn't do much there. But overall, when you put up 452 yards and 62 points on the board, your thoughts on the performance of the Tigers here tonight?
The reality is, anytime you can win all 3 phases of the game, you're going to win the game. And that's what they did. I mean, there's no debate that they won the special teams battle. There's no debate they won the offensive battle or the defensive battle. You know, they doubled them up on offense. Those guys were solid today, and they did basically what they were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. So now the trick is, can you repeat this kind of performance against competition that will be much stiffer next week against the Georgia Bulldogs?
They're going to have to. And honestly, like I said, I watched Georgia. That defense is susceptible. Granted, they didn't have 5 of their starters today that we will see next week. Mark Richt is not going to lose his job over suspending some kids over disciplinary action.
You check out the next 5 games for these Missouri Tigers, and again, it starts with the Georgia Bulldogs next Saturday evening, then Arizona State, South Carolina, again, big game there, and then Central Florida and Vanderbilt. And then right after that, it's Alabama.
Honestly, Vanderbilt looked pretty solid to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got to get through Georgia. Take one game at a time. Arizona State, we're not sure who they are yet. We should have beaten them last year. We know that. And then South Carolina, I think they may be a little bit overrated.
Well, we'll see. I think really the Georgia game is so big because it could change the whole complexion of how things look in this Eastern Division in the SEC. And with a win there for the Tigers, and they will really start making a name for themselves. So a big game coming up, obviously, next Saturday night here at Memorial Stadium. Again, a big night for the Missouri Tigers here tonight as they move on to the SEC, and they do it in style here tonight representing the SEC. Gary Pinkel comes in, and these fans were treated to a night where the Tigers scored 62 points. For Todd Donahoe and Corby Jones and our entire Fox Sports crew, Dave Armstrong saying so long from Memorial Stadium in Columbia, where once again the Tigers win this one going away by 52.